Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Pandora's Age. I'm just going to get rid of the clock, which despite the fact that I've told it not to loop, is insisting on looping. I'm Brian F. Irving. I'll be your games master for the entire session. Indeed, for the campaign, I'm also the author of the Pandora's Wake setting, which we'll come on to. Now then, the show today we'll be playing Pandora's Age, which is the Pandora's Wake setting set to the modern age rules. Sorry, my mind went a little blank there. The modern age rules by Green Ronin Publishing. The excuse me. The sound effects will be by DH9 Radio's Foley unit, BattleBards and freesound.org. The music by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com and by the DH9 Radio Production Unit. As I mentioned, I'm Brian F. Irving. I'm from both Gethsemane Games and DH9 Radio, and I'll be running the game this afternoon. And I will just introduce you to the cast, or rather, I'll name them and they will introduce themselves. I'm going to start at the top. Today we have Mark Savoll as Rab.
Hiya.
We have Chris Gibson as Adam Taylor.
Hello.
We have Jenny Savoll as Erin Black.
Hi.
We have Ben Watson as Joe Watson.
G'day, mate.
And Sean McGuile as Thomas Gallagher.
Hello.
And Marie McGowan Irving as Elizabeth Lizzy Ryan.
Hello.
Excuse me. So the story so far, as we're currently on episode 5. The Pandora Event occurred just 2 nights ago. A strange event in which the sky around Earth turned purple. Many holes in the fabric of our universe ripped open and creatures from a strange dimension poured through. Our characters were trapped on the Metro, which is Newcastle's underground light railway system. That's Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. They were largely strangers. Some of them knew one another in sort of vague ways. Some of them didn't. Trapped on the underground train system when the apocalypse began, when the Pandora event occurred. They were forced to flee on foot through the tunnels, chased by strange tentacled alien monstrosities. Eventually they made it out into the streets and fled to Thomas Gallagher's workshop, where they held out for the rest of the night despite further attacks by the creatures. And eventually they sent parties out to pick up some of their friends and family and loved ones. And indeed, we also had Rab and Joe went off to rob a supermarket in the intent of bringing back enough food to keep everybody supplied throughout what they were convinced was going to be the instant end of the world. We begin we begin 2 days after the Pandora event, and things are not quite entirely as expected. In many ways, perhaps they're worse. Whatever did happen during the course of the night the sky turned purple, the British government seemed to be continuing to stick to their story that the only real threat was terrorist attacks across the country. This doesn't ring true, of course, because this would mean terrorist attacks coordinated around the entire world all at once. And of course our characters saw the creatures in the underground, not only the creatures with the tentacles that chased them, but later they fought a Grex-like slime mold that definitely didn't seem to be of terrestrial origin. And yet, here we are, 2 days later, the British government insisting that the danger has been contained and that all the videos online of strange alien monstrosities attacking various cities across the world are nothing more than fake news. Can that be true? Well, of course it can't. The party are absolutely positive it isn't true, and probably more sensibly than many who seem to be just returning to work, trying to return to normal and just getting on with life as if nothing had happened. Our party, originally strangers just 48 hours ago, are now beginning to lay plans on how they're going to prepare for the inevitable collapse that they know is coming, no matter what they are told. Welcome to Pandora's Age. So, guys, it's 48 hours after you escaped from the underground. You are still holed up at the excuse me, at the workshop at the moment. You're starting to lay plans for how you're going to get through what you know's coming. One of the problems you've got is the workshop's getting a bit crowded because you've got a lot of people here now, not just yourselves, but various members of people's families as well. Thomas, you've been on the phone to your family, friends, and your girlfriend, who were all quite concerned. They haven't, well, most of them haven't encountered anything. They have seen things on the news, very confused stories about what's going on out there. And with one exception, your best friend is, I'm just going to pull the information up about, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, so I'll just go over to you.
Best friend? I have a best friend.
You have best friend from school, Richie Stevens.
Richie.
Yeah, bar shift manager at the Mile Castle. Okay, so you were talking to him on the phone earlier. He's quite distressed. You've not seen him like this before, but he's saying, Thomas, man, I saw them. The police were here this morning to confiscated all the CCTV cameras because they said that the terrorists that were fighting at the station, which, as you know, is just across the road from the pub, more or less.
Yeah,
it's kind of over and around a little bit. Right. Yeah. Honestly, man, I saw some of the things on the CCTV just before the police confiscated it. That's not terrorists, I'm telling you. So how are you going to respond?
I'm not going to laugh, obviously.
No, I would imagine not.
It's kind of manic laugh there. How would I respond at this point? I would say, I was on the metro that night in Newcastle.
Oh, fucking hell, man. How did you get out?
We had to do a runner and basically come out at the monument and basically flee the scene. We were chased by creatures.
Bloody hell, man.
The creature.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, mate. Go on. You still there, Thomas? Go on.
Yeah. So your best option is to get what you can, get somewhere safe, get out of the city.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
get away from it all.
The government is saying everything's all right, that it's all contained. I don't think it's contained like this. This is not right. This is not right. I mean, why would they want to take the CCTV?
So that they can control the evidence.
See, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to sound like one of those flat earther types, you know, the kind.
Yeah, no, exactly the kind. But then you've got idiots in the government who'll break any sort of rules and kiss mistresses and what have you, and marry somebody else.
I remember that. I remember that. It happens every couple of years. Seems to happen all the time. So
well, you know what politicians are like. The only one telling the truth's got his mouth closed and is not speaking.
You're not wrong there, mate. You're not wrong there. Right. So hold on a second. So when you say we, was Kiri-Ann with you? You guys okay? Is she all right?
She wasn't with me on that night.
All right, okay. So you made sure she was all right, though. I take it you didn't ring me first. He seems to have forgotten that he rang you.
You rang me, bro.
Did I? Oh, yeah, I did. I wanted to make sure you were all right.
I'm fine. It was basically got a few people with me here. We escaped say from the metro on that particular night. A couple of Scottish lunatics are with me. They kicked one of the monsters to death.
They did what?
Well, it was either it or us, and it was basically they went kind of all I don't know what you call it, Highlander on it, and destroyed it basically.
They're canny mental, them Scottish lads, aren't they?
Well, so one of them wasn't a lad.
All right.
was a woman.
Bloody hell. Where
You
you
know
know
that, tag chase thing, parkour chase thing, sport.
yeah. I've
Sometimes
seen
on the
it.
TV when,
Aye.
like on an evening on the bar there.
Do you remember back during the COVID-19 pandemic? I got into watching it then because there was no football out on, you know.
Aye. Just before the Euro came back in 2021.
That's right, aye.
Yeah. So one of them was actually one of those type of athletes.
Right, 'cause they're kind of fit, like, I can see, yeah. So, if two of them manage to kick these things to death, it can't be that hard, like.
No, these things are brutal. They're nasty.
Right. They looked it
We've
on the
just got lucky.
CCTV. It scared the shit out of me, mind, I've got to say.
Aye. Well, you want to avoid them. You want to get yourself somewhere safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Actually, I'm just gonna pack some stuff and get out. I'm gonna go up to my mum and dad's up in the borders. It's right slap in the middle of the country as well, so I'm hoping that'll be, because they're saying these things came out of the sea. I don't know how true that is, but I'm gonna get up to my mum and dad's anyway.
Well, it looked like, I don't know, some sort of octopus thing type. It's all tentacles and looks like a manta ray.
Yeah, I saw them on the CCTV. It was weird. It was like somebody had stuck a manta ray on top of a squid. It was really weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I just wanted to make sure you were all right, mate. Glad to hear you're okay. Stay in touch. You've got me mobile. I'm gonna bugger off to my mum and dad's.
Don't know how long that's gonna last though.
Yeah, that's a point. Well, I think you've got my mum and dad's number somewhere.
Yeah, I've got all that.
Right. Well, give us a call if you need us or out. And anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I've handed me notice in because it's looking dangerous around here. I don't even care what the government say.
Probably not be doing much business. I would have thought, like all that going on across at the station.
You'd be
The whole area
surprised.
probably shut down.
Well, a lot of the areas is shut down. But there's like a narrow corridor people can get in. But you'd be surprised how many people are just out as normal, just like it was a normal Monday in the middle of the day. So yeah, it's not.
It's like there was a pandemic on.
Aye. Right. Anyway, I'll see you later, mate. And then he hangs up.
Cheers.
You've also heard from your girlfriend, but I'll come back to that. So I'm going to skip over to what's everybody else doing at the moment?
I don't know if we maybe want to discuss where we want to because this isn't a permanent solution in the garage. Like you said, it was getting a bit enclosed.
Yeah, one of the problems
So-
you've had over the last couple of days is you've got one bathroom and now you've got over a dozen people in here. You're sleeping on concrete. You're just making up beds wherever you can. It's not ideal.
So maybe I'm shopping with a couple other people, looking online for any places that fit our needs.
Yeah, I'm wanting to pick up a few things, so
Okay.
if you're gonna let me get all of them.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Marie's gonna jump in here at this point, but their house is just down the road.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Me and Vicky can leave any time we like because our flat's just round the corner. It's a small flat, but
Yeah.
we've just, because we've all been sort of sticking together.
Aye.
But the further we get away from the attack, the more likely we are to go stuff that we can go for a shower at the
Yeah.
flat. We can get a couple hours sleep, maybe cook a proper meal on a stove.
The advantage of the flat is it does have a stove. It does have a shower. It's got all those kind of amenities. Again, it's a bit too small to squeeze this many people in, but added to this, it gives you kind of a split base that's only about 100, 200 yards away, the two places. Also, unlike here, which is at ground level, your flat is like 3 stories up and entered via a key-carded door on the ground floor. So it's a little bit more secure, but it would be even more cramped than here. So at the moment, you've been using that when people have needed to shower or when you've wanted to cook for stuff. But it's not ideal because it means you are kind of exposing yourselves to the outside every time as you move between the two sites. So yeah, looking for a more permanent solution might be an idea. Also, if you're going to start prepping for the collapse of society, you're going to need somewhere to store all the shit you're going to store. And with that, I should probably speak to you next, Jenny, because you said you had a shopping list you wanted to pick up.
Yeah, there's a few things.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you're gonna let me get all of them, but
Okay,
we'll
that
see.
sounds a touch ominous. Let's investigate that.
Well, as you know, because I've just gained a certain skill,
Mhm.
I would probably want to pick up some like first aid kits if Rab and what's his face
Joe.
didn't get any. Yeah.
I'll check with
Why does
Rab.
everyone forget my name?
I don't know. It's a really simple name to remember as well.
I know.
But we all do it, myself included. So, Rab and Joe, when you guys robbed the supermarket, as I remember it, you were mostly in the food aisle, but you were actually in
Oh,
the.
no. I specifically broke into the pharmacy.
You did.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
absolutely did. Yes. That's right. Okay, so I am going to say that
Because I was getting antibiotics and all kinds of things.
you were, and some
Mhm.
some stuff you could sell on the street as well to make a little bit of a profit.
And some stuff that will never see the light of day again.
Some stuff you've already started taking. Yes. For those who haven't been watching, Rab is a little bit of a tearaway.
Rapscallion, yes.
Your rapscallion's a good term. Okay, I'm going to say, since you did specifically rob the pharmacy in the supermarket, I'm going to say that you've picked up, what's Rab's intelligence?
Let me just say, if Ben was getting camping stuff, there would be first aid boxes on that same aisle, so he may have gotten them.
Yeah, there'd be travel first
Travel
aid kits,
stuff
like
as well,
camping
yeah.
kits.
Okay, so I need Rab's intelligence score. Actually, easiest way to do this. Mark, roll a d6, add your intelligence. That's the number of first aid kits you've picked up.
6.
Ben, you do the same. Roll a d6, add your intelligence. That's the number of first aid kits you've picked up.
Everybody rolls 6s. Yay.
Yeah.
Well,
he did
well,
as
Rab
well.
did, and Ben rolled
I got a
5.
5.
So there you go. And better than that, Mark didn't add the +1, so that's actually 7. Plus
Right.
5, that's 12. 12 first aid kits behind you. Did I open you up a handout you could record stuff on?
I believe
Our
that
shopping
Rab's
list.
one, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, added to the list of stuff that Ben and Rab have nicked.
Joe. Let's call him Joe.
Sorry, Joe and Rab, yes. Yeah.
I know it's 3 letters and one of them's
Yeah,
similar.
that's
You know, it kind of makes sense though, because I'm like meant to be a guy who blends into the background, and I blend so well you don't even remember my name.
Do you know, that's very true.
Literally,
This
mentally-
is-
Sorry, who's
I'm
he?
mentally
Who's
a
he?
man in
Have no-
black.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
This is literally your job as a bank robber, is to blend
Mhm.
into the background and not be noticed while your casing joints. Also, I believe Rab has a bit of an idea he wants to put to the group at some point as well, but we'll get onto that once I've dealt with
I
Erin's.
have a very good idea I
can
want to
guess.
put to the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a good idea. You mentioned it to me earlier. So, Jenny, I'm just having a look on the equipment. There it is, page 70 onwards. And scrolling down. What else was it you had in mind? So, you know
Right,
that
well-
there's 12 medical kits between the group at the moment. Actually, there'll be more because I would imagine Thomas had at least 2 in the workshop.
Right, okay. So we'll say 14 then.
Yeah, we're going to say 14.
Right, well, sticking with that sort of area of things, in case they picked some of this up, I was looking at getting some antiseptic and multivitamins as well.
Okay, Rab's got you sorted there. As soon as he hears you're after
Yeah,
some,
I
he
was
just...
going to say I should have got some of them at the supermarket.
Aye.
I'm just gonna add all of this.
Add
Like
all
this is now our
kinds of
inventory
things.
list.
Okay.
Would Julia have grabbed anything?
Yes, Julia will have grabbed a couple of things. She's got a bottle of whiskey and a couple of bottles of wine for a start. Also,
Girlfriend and alcoholic.
also, she's got a few changes of clothes. She's got female sanitary stuff in case anybody needs it. She's
Yeah.
got her one of the changes of clothes is a gym kit, which she's got, of course. She's also got some thingy tablets. Oh, mine's gone blank.
So the
again.
sanities probably help the morale of the ladies then.
Yes. She's also got some thingy tablets. What do you call them? You've just mentioned the vitamin tablets.
Water purification.
She didn't bring water purification. No, and I see
We did,
OBS
though.
is just disconnected and reconnected. That was nice of it. It's lucky I'm
Oh.
recording this separately.
Water purification tablets is one of the things that I was
We've got.
thinking of getting. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
We'll get more.
Water purification tablets is something that Ben might have picked up because he went down the camping aisle. So
I'm
I'm
pretty
Yeah.
sure we specified them as well at the supermarket.
I think you probably did. You know they're easy enough to come by, though. You can buy them online, or there's a few places in Newcastle you can buy those. So, yes, I'm going to allow you to pick those up. It's not going to deplete your
Nice.
resources. I assume your resources are at least 4.
Let's see. I'm just going to double check. There's a few more things I want to get mind.
Okay,
Yeah, my
that's fine.
resources are 4.
Okay, that's fine. So the water purification tablets haven't cost you anything. What else are you after?
I think we should probably get some walkie-talkies.
It's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good idea. That would allow you to stay in contact even if Thomas's theory that the cell masts won't last.
Get those
Exactly.
military ones that have like miles range.
Mm-hmm.
Miles of range.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get whichever ones we
There'll probably
can.
be a hut, her work.
Yeah.
They will definitely have some at your work, but if you want
You-
to buy some rather than steal them from where you work,
You can. You can probably buy them at any electronics shop.
you can.
I
You can
don't
get
know.
them in
Macklin
Matlins.
and what have you. You can buy the sets.
Okay, let me just have a look at the price on those. I know you just told me what your resources was, but I forgot. Could you tell me again?
4.
4. Okay.
The price on them will have dropped quite dramatically over the past probably 4 years, I would say,
Oh,
since
absolutely.
I last looked at them.
Yeah. So they're cheaper than cell phones because everybody wants cell phones nowadays. Cell phone would have cost you 8 resources. So yes, you can pick up.
Jesus.
Depends how many you want, of course.
One for each of us.
Okay, 1, 2.
That would be
3, 4,
preferable,
5, 6.
yeah.
So 6. They tend to come in. You can buy packs of 3, 6. I should know this. We used to use them for some of the big events I've done. Used to buy sets of them and hand them out to all the crew. So especially when we did large events that were spread over multiple locations in a city.
Get them in packs of 8.
8. There you go.
Tell the truth, it was just for Marie to tell you to put the kettle on.
Do you know we did actually used to carry some for that as well. Before we had our little hockey pucks on our desks, yes.
Do you want the really long distance ones? They're £900. Short distance is £64.
Okay.
What's the range on the long distance?
Yeah.
8 miles.
Probably be like
And what's the
Jesus,
range on the
really?
short distance, short range one?
Short distance would be probably a mile,
Yeah.
maybe less.
Okay, so you're probably going to have to go for the larger ones. So you're probably looking.
I can help you out if you need money. Or I can
Well-
just steal them. Whichever suits you.
you are going to have to make a resources check to buy a set of 8. Then, if you'd like to.
Rob can help you out with money as well, but it'll take him a couple of hours.
He'll be back with somebody else's money.
Yeah.
That's the thing about
Rob's
getting.
money.
Yeah.
What do I roll again for this?
Okay,
Way
it's
to keep them
3d6,
powered as well.
and you add your resources.
3d6.
yeah.
666. Here
Do you want me to? Do you want me to
That's
assist you?
9.
You don't need to. She's not that far short. Okay, so that's
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so and it's +4 as well, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
9.
So it's 9.
That's 13. So you've got a pack of 8 long range radios. You were able to pick those up in town. You're amazed. You're sort of heading up into town quite nervous because you remember what happened the other day, and stuff's just going on like normal. People are going to work. People are shopping. It's almost like nothing
Yeah.
happened. It's not
Sort of like we hallucinated everything.
Yeah,
See,
you're
you
surprised.
you can roll your resources by clicking on the title.
Oh, I didn't know
All
that.
right,
I
okay.
didn't know that. Okay, that's you've certainly passed without. You were never going to need to deplete your resources because it would have had to have been much further out of your standard budget. So, add to a list of wherever your have we got a handout for your general inventory?
I was just sticking it in the Rabs.
I was going
me
to
and
say,
Rab one, to be honest.
I'm just going to change the title of that from stuff that Rab and Joe nicked to group inventory.
If we can eventually get to like an army base or something, then we can get 40-kilometer ones eventually.
Yes. Okay, apparently I can't spell inventory. That's an interesting
Do want
discovery.
to try and get my hands on a military.
And then obviously a satellite radio as well.
Well, currently, since society is still largely operating as normal,
Yeah,
simply walking into a military base and nicking a
No.
shitload
Yeah,
of
not yet.
equipment
Like future thinking.
is absolutely likely to happen in the future, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's if we don't get eaten before then. But you know.
That's if you don't get eaten long before then, yeah.
I also have other cunning plans for the future.
Excellent. Okay, so is anybody going with Erin on a shopping trip into town?
I'll go with her.
Okay.
Okay.
So what the pair of you notice is that it's almost like a normal day. It's a little bit on the quiet side, but there's so many people just carrying on as normal, not taking it seriously, that you do get this kind of surreal feeling that, like, did we hallucinate all of that?
Yeah.
You can see there's some people around who are looking every bit as nervous about being out as you are. But there's a surprising number of people not taking it very seriously. Then you think back to the COVID-19 epidemic of a few years back and you think, well, you know, if the government hadn't literally told everybody to stay inside at the time, there was a lot of people who wouldn't have done. Now, I've just moved you all over onto a new, we're going to call it a map. It's technically not a map. Can you all see it okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Page.
Yes, page. So
Staging.
in this, I'm just going to turn the grid off because you don't really need a grid for that, and it's a little bit distracting. So let me just kill that, and then I'll turn the music down a smidge if anyone's finding that a little bit on the loud side.
I'm not hearing any of the music. Am I the only one?
I can hear it.
I want to hear
I
it,
can hear it.
like a little bit.
Oh, if you can only hear it a little bit, I'll leave it largely where it is then. Okay, there's the grid turned off. So, what you'll notice is in the centre you've got that thing that says summer. That's telling you what season we're in, obviously. There's a to-do list which is a chalkboard. You can write on that if you know how to write in this. Please use the white colour option and the light font type if you're going to do that, and you'll need to be font size about sort of 40ish, I think, if I remember rightly.
That's 40.
Yeah, there you go. So that wasn't the light font type, but never mind. Close enough. Well done.
Light one.
It just looks more like you're writing with it on chalk. There you go. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll notice
I've
there's
just found, yeah.
You'll notice there's a party box at your top left. All the current members of the party are in there. You've got assignments 1, 2, and 3. So if somebody would just like to write in chalk under assignment 1, shopping. Anybody?
I'll do it.
I'm going. Oh, Ben's doing it. That's fine.
Okay. And then if
Just not
those of you
nominate one
who've
person.
gone shopping would just like to drag yourself down onto that assignment so we can instantly see who's where.
This is very organised. I like it.
I
Yeah,
know, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Me of all
drag
people.
yourself out shopping. Yeah, yeah.
I'll just
Can
drag.
be a chore,
Yeah,
but you
there
know.
we go. And on the right-hand side, you'll notice there's a column for creatures encountered, and you'll notice ominously, I have opened 6 slots and only filled
Yeah.
2.
You've missed the sperm rex thingy.
I have actually, yeah. Well, you encountered that but didn't defeat it, so I'll
Oh, does
probably.
this defeat that?
No, it should be encountered as well. So you're right. I should actually put a carnal sperm in. I'll put that in later. I'll put it in shortly for you. So, as I say, you guys are out shopping at the moment. While they're shopping, what's everybody else doing?
I'm wanting to. Well, I've been trying to get hold of my boss in Durham, but if I can't, then I'm going to try to get to a lab myself and like maybe the life center, and maybe possibly get the equipment for a pop-up white room.
Okay.
I'll go with him. It sounds like he's gonna go steal something, so I'll come with him.
I have keys to the building, so no, it's not stealing.
You can actually get through to your boss, yes.
Okay.
So you ring a couple of times. He picks up. I've just forgotten his name. Professor Lindsay, isn't it?
Yes.
Afternoon, Professor Lindsay.
I'll say it's Adam here. I tried
Adam.
calling you the other day.
Yes, it was a bit chaotic the other day, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
How are you? Everything okay?
We're a little bit more settled now, a bit cramped because we've got a few people living here.
Yeah.
But because I can't exactly go home, my kind of neighbours got like murdered by them weird-looking man of wars.
Yeah, the terrorists, he says as if somebody's listening.
Oh, you know, okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I probably know him enough to do this. We're probably go on regular drinks or something.
Yeah,
to know what that is.
Yeah. That's exactly right. I remember that. It's. I tell you what. Do you remember that time we were out? And then he completely changes. Right. Sorry. Just there was somebody in here I don't entirely trust. Did you get those samples that you mentioned briefly the last time?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to a lab nearby that I can like check them out.
Okay. You can come in. I can slot one of our labs, or we can see if we can book one of the labs over at the Life Centre.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can get to Durham just yet because like I've got a few dependents and stuff, and my girlfriend and that. So I don't want to get too far, even though it's not that far away at the moment.
Okay, where you're at, I'll come and meet you, and we'll see. I've got a contact at the Life Centre. We'll see if we can talk them into lending us a lab. The other advantage of that is they've got a BSL-3 lab in the Life Centre. So since we don't know what we're dealing with,
I'm going to ask Thomas where we are, like just the area.
Okay, you ask Thomas where you are. He tells you that you're in Oosburn, just up from the Clooney, just down from the Star and Shadow.
Yeah, I'm about half a mile from the Life Centre, so I could just meet you there.
Okay, yeah, I'll meet you at the Life Centre in about call it an hour and a half. I'll meet you outside. Okay.
I'll be bringing someone with me as well.
Yep, no problem. Okay, could you, under assignment 2, could you write researching alien life, and then drag yourself and whoever's going with you into assignment 2, please?
Did someone write the freehand before? It's just very neat.
And
No, you can add text, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, if you come down on the right-hand side under the draw menu, if you pull down, there's a text option. Yeah. And if you change that text type, that's the way. Excellent. Right, just drag yourself down onto that so we know that you're currently doing that.
And whoever's going with this.
Rob is going to be doing research on the local area, specifically looking for stuff like what was mentioned earlier, Brian.
Yes, brilliant. Okay. Could you, excuse me, could you put researching local area in assignment 3 and drag yourself down to that?
I can type it in because I've already got a text box out.
Brilliant, go for it. Yeah. Okay, so
it's already done it.
brilliant.
No, put that back.
Okay, so I tried to click out of it, but it put it instead. So
Okay, so popping back to the shopping trip for the time being then. What else are you looking for, Jenny, while you're in town?
three.
Well, I was thinking of getting some kind of solar charging battery so that
Okay, yes.
it will be
Again, you're
useful.
probably looking at somewhere like Maplin's for that.
Okay.
The drawback is Maplin's is medium quality.
You could
Unless-
get them at like a
unless
sports
they're
shop as well.
Yeah, unless they're listening and feeling particularly litigious, in which case they're high quality. However, for buying it in town in a hurry, they're your people to go to.
Okay.
Honestly,
Carries PC well for your walkie-talkies.
yeah, you could get the walkie-talkies at PC World or Curry's as well as Maplin.
Yeah.
Actually, other electronic goods stores do exist. Just for the feed there. So okay, you're wanting a so sort of what power level, what output level are you talking about? You don't have to tell me in kilowatts. You can tell me roughly kind of what amount of stuff you want to run from it, and we'll go from there.
Power a house with it.
Maybe not quite that much.
Well, actually, powering a house, it doesn't take as much as you'd think.
See, then, I'd probably try and go for as much as possible that I can actually afford.
Okay.
So, I might as well.
Okay, so I'm going to set that at around about 16 then for a large. Did you say solar generator? Or did
Yeah,
you, yes.
like battery, like solar charging.
Solar charging battery. Yeah. Okay. Well, they've got ones that can be charged from the mains and from solar power and so on as well, and which can then be used to start your cars, run your electrical gear. The kind of power level you're looking for, one of them probably wouldn't run an entire house if you were trying to run a lot of stuff at once.
Yeah.
But, if you were careful about what you had on at any given time, you'd probably be okay. So it's going to be 16. Your resources are 4. That gives you a range of 8. So if you could roll 3d6 for me, please. And if
Can you have given me her my bank card before I left?
yes, if you want to. In which case,
Trust her enough, yeah. No, so
sorry.
I trust her enough now, so yes.
Aw.
I'll do that.
Okay. In that case, what's your resource level?
4.
Okay.
Want me to roll one as well?
Yep, you can roll one as well. It just gives you 2 opportunities, doesn't it? Okay.
Can I give her my bank card as well?
You probably wouldn't do that, Ben. You probably keep it yourself, don't think.
Yeah. Remember, you're the one that's supposed to be greedy, so you're the one that probably wouldn't give somebody access to your bank card.
That's true.
Also, you're a bank robber, so kind of not giving out your electronic money-related stuff would be kind of ingrained in you, I think. But if you really want to, you could. However, I don't think it's going to be necessary. Okay, so Erin doesn't feel she has enough. I tell you what, give me an intelligence roll from Erin, please.
Okay.
Just a basic intelligence check will do. I can't think of a focus that will fit.
Oh, I don't know if I've still got that fear. Because that's taken one off.
Yes, if you had any fear, you can take that off now.
Right, okay.
Hey.
Also, I should have mentioned earlier, I do apologise, if anybody is injured, you've had a couple of nights' sleep, so you will have regained your constitution +5 plus your level back in health. A little bit of mathematics there for you.
Yeah, so I got 11, so... Oops, sorry, Marie.
That's okay. Finish this bit, and then I've got an idea.
Okay. I'll just quickly finish this bit then. So, Erin, you realise you don't have enough in the bank to buy this thing. You don't have enough handy. So you're kind of a little bit nervous about doing it, but you hand over Adam's card instead.
Spend all his money.
and spend all his money.
The internet's still up. I've got my app.
Yes. It goes through. It goes through. So you've managed to buy that on Adam's card. However, that was 10 over your base. So, Chris, your resources have temporarily dropped to 3.
Okay. So I have the power.
Yeah. Okay, so Marie, you were going to say you had an idea. Go ahead.
My idea was, well, my sister's an environmentalist.
Yes.
Vicky's an environmentalist,
Mhm.
so I could phone her and ask if she's got any friends who do the sort of isolationist prepping stuff, who might have any.
That is a really
advice
good
or-
idea. Yes. Okay. Yes.
And what if they could maybe, I don't know, call me and give me a list, or text me or email me a list.
Okay, you ring Lizzie and ask, and she says, "Yes, I do. I'll get onto them all. I'll get as much information, as many ideas as I can back, and I'll get back to you. I'll. Are you coming back to the? Oh no, you're out shopping now, aren't you? Okay, I'll let you know as soon as the information comes in.
Aye. We
Okay.
might be back for shopping by that point, but you know, I don't know. We're looking at generators and things. So
Yeah, if you can get a solar one, that's probably a good idea.
yeah, that's what we just bought.
Or maybe like
Perfect.
another cool one would be like a wind-up one, you know.
Yeah.
Do you actually think wind-up torches would be a good idea?
Yes.
I was
Yes.
actually, that was the next thing on my list, is some kind of rechargeable torch.
They make quite a bit of noise though.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Wind up ones do, yes. Also, they don't
recharge.
hold the power for long, so you wind up
No.
Yeah.
with something akin to wanker's cramp from winding the torch up more or less constantly.
Just get a rechargeable one, and then I could use it with the
The generator,
battery.
yeah.
Yes. Yep, you can order a flashlight. You have enough in the bank for a bunch of flashlights. How many do you want?
try and get one for everybody.
So 6 again. So you might need to make a roll here 6 times.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a resources roll for this.
Right.
1 minute of something will give 8 minutes of light.
Cranking. Ooh. Right, yeah, no problem. You've also got 6 points of stunts, so somehow you've managed to.
Does this mean we've gone? Should we check Poundland and found them in there?
Pretty much, yeah. The other thing was
decent.
was 6 points of stunts. As it happens, you get a thing asking you if you want to take out a new credit card with like X, and you think, do you know what? I'm just going to quickly fill this out on my phone, and you find yourself surprisingly accepted, which means that you're, because of those 6 points of stunts. I am going to see. If you have some options for stunts on that one, actually, I think there's probably.
It's not like you're going to have to pay it back. You know?
Yeah. That's
No,
true.
exactly.
Could pay me back.
Yeah.
Maybe
Really?
sometime.
Really? Are we going down that path at this point?
I'm always the one who gets to the good money rolls in every game we play.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you do.
We're at the world's end, and it's like, you still owe me a $5 before I die yet. You pay me back that $5, it's not over.
Excuse me, I once sang, because I used to sing in the chapel choir. I once sang at somebody's funeral, and it was really hard to sing one of the hymns that they put, because just before we went up, a very drunk man got up on the pulpit to give a talk about his friend that had died, and he started out with it, and he ended it with, and he still owes me money. Terrible.
Dear me.
Yes. So, trying to sing Amazing Grace after you just heard this guy trash his mate, and to say, and he still owes me money, was not easy.
Okay, Jenny, you're because of the massively good roll you got, I'm going to say that you can spend 3 points of stunts on temporarily increasing your resources by 1.
Okay.
And you can spend more if you want to. You can spend the 6 and increase it by 2 if you'd like.
Get the
Just make
churn
sure-
up. Go on, Jenny.
Just make sure it's good
Ah.
quality stuff you're getting, that you know it's going to last.
Yes.
No, the thing is, they were out, they were shopping, they've got some fresh cash. It was, there's a hat shop. Handbags, new handbags.
Actually,
Okay, so I'm just trying to find the
Yeah, I'll increase it by 2.
complications reset, actually, didn't they? So, right.
Yes,
Did
yes, they did. They did.
They did. Aye. 'Cause this is part 3 now. Okay, so you've gone up by 2, but you've managed to get the rechargeable torches. So you've got 6 rechargeable torches. Each of them can be recharged from the mains or from that charging station you've just bought. Now, whilst you're going shopping, I am going to skip to Mark. Rab is currently researching the local area on... has he gone to the library or is he using the interwebs?
Yeah, I thought it was casing houses.
It could be casing houses. Yeah.
Probably.
I
Find
think
it,
I think he might still be on mute, Mark.
he's gone to see where the local off license is.
Yeah.
I think he already knows where all they are.
So, I'm going to assume you're doing this online unless I'm told otherwise. So, could you give me a intelligence research check, please? Mark.
There's a message in the chat which is like
Oofed.
6.
Yeah, that's because of the 666. So,
Oh right.
you're breaking up a little bit there, Mark. Could you give me a intelligence research roll, please? Oh, excellent. There you go.
Oh, you
Okay.
don't need that fear. You need to remove that.
Oh, yes, you can remove that point of
Oh,
fear now.
okay.
So that's actually 10 you've got, which is a... Let me just check. That might be a... I think that's a pass, but I'm just going to check this. So, research. This one... it's a narrow fail, actually.
Because I'm there and there are other people there.
Yes. I think there's just you left, actually. Everybody else has gone out.
Well, we do have other people with us, though, don't
Oh,
we? We have,
yes, of course. You've got the
relatives and what
NPCs,
have
yes.
you, and NPCs that are actually there at the thing. Would they not have some local knowledge? And would I not have local knowledge?
Yes, that's going to give you +2 on your roll, Mark, so that becomes a pass. So, I'm going to show you something, because there is a piece of art in there that you have found, as well as what I'm going to tell you. So let me just show you this. Show to everyone. There we go. So, it's taken you about an hour, but you found a number of things. One of which is this little map from the city works. It's about almost 100 years out of date, but it does show what's called the Victoria Tunnel, which runs, apparently from what you're seeing and what you're reading online, the length of from Oosburn right the way up to the Royal Victoria Infirmary. It was originally built to service the Louisa pits, but when they were closed, it was bricked up and forgotten about, until the Second World War, when it was opened again and turned into an air raid shelter. After that, it was kind of bricked up again and then forgotten about, and then it was opened as a tourist attraction, and then it needed some repair, so it was closed again. But it is apparently still there, it's just closed. According to this, one of the entrances is right around here somewhere, but the thing that really worries you is if it's true that these creatures came from the river, the entrance is somewhere damn close to the river. And it runs right, not exactly underneath the workshop, but underneath one of the roads next to the workshop.
Oh, great.
So potentially there is a tunnel in this area, but it might be infested with the creatures. But that's not all you've learned, because you got Okay.
Makes you think that there might be a secret entrance at Hancock Museum.
It's funny you
But
should
they have
mention
been
the Hancock
closed.
Museum, actually. It's funny you should mention the Hancock Museum because I know that's something Rab wants to talk to everybody about as well.
What's that number 6 there? What's that number 6?
Which number 6 were?
Beneath the Hancock Museum on the map. What's that?
Ah, right.
We've got 1,
That's one of the entrances.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6. That looks like entrances to the.
The numbers
You
are all
wouldn't
the
just
entrances.
have them at the ends. You would have them somewhere along the length for people to get into in
That's
an area.
correct, yes. That's where they are, and one of them is near the Hancock Museum. And as he notices that, Rab sort of claps his hands together and rubs them. He's got this look of both delight and pure, unadulterated evil, I think, really.
Is this something that he wants to steal from the Hancock Museum?
I will allow him to tell you.
Museum.
Hi.
Hear me. Do they know he like things like, I don't know, like armor and swords and spears and shit?
Yeah, they do.
I know they've got a T-Rex there.
Aye, man,
always
but
got
I
a
think
random
they're about
T-Rex.
things to stab things with.
You mean some medieval weaponry?
They do.
Aye.
They do. One of the parents who
Great.
think it's Erin's dad says they do actually. It's really quite interesting. They've got a lot of like medieval weapons and armor and stuff in there. It only comes out from time to time. Sometimes it's in storage, but yeah, they've got some.
I could have my dream weapon.
I mean,
You're gonna get a halberd.
they don't sell them or anything. You couldn't just walk
Hellbeard?
in and buy them. How about?
Oh, I wasn't going to ask if I could buy one, like.
I don't think you can buy them.
Oh, he's not planning to buy them.
I'm not planning to buy them.
Antique steel armor.
Yeah. Okay, other things. Sean, could you give me an intelligence research roll as well, please, just so I can see how much we're adding to this pool?
Intelligence research. Oh, doesn't
But I
involve
wish-
tinkering, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I wish I was there because I got the highest.
13 with 5 added to the pool. 6, 7, 8. So that takes that up to 8. So, this is all the other stuff you've also found out whilst researching the area. Okay? You've discovered an old... Oh, wait a minute, I've told you that bit. Right. You've been able to locate a list of World War II and Cold War bunkers in the region. There are about 20 or so scattered all over. And just give me a second, I'm going to take you over to yet another map and show you the bunker locations that you've managed to find. And there you go. Each one of
very
those blue
existently.
pins, Sacristan, yeah, there's an ROC bunker at Sacristan.
This is the one I know about.
Yeah, you go past it on the way to Durham from Stanley. So, you found that little list of ROC bunkers. However, you also discovered that during the 1990s, a large number of local bunkers were demolished due to the end of the Cold War. Some were simply locked off and abandoned, and a small number were sold to private individuals. However, there are some just sat there out in fields. You currently don't know which ones of that list are active, which ones have been demolished, which ones have been sold. But
If we could get aerial pictures of them, then it might help a little.
it is an aerial
Yeah,
picture
Google
you're looking
Maps.
at. Yeah, it's what you're looking at.
No, I mean if we're able to zoom in enough to
Street
see.
view.
Yeah, can you just go on Street View and see what they look like a couple of years ago or whatever?
Yes, but bear in mind you're talking about underground bunkers. There's not a
but
great
if
deal
you
on the
check
surface.
if you check the sediments of the soil on the top from the aerial view pictures, which I think I might be able to do, you could see if there's anything collapsed underneath. Like you can with mines.
Yeah, not really, because these things are sort of concrete.
They're quite far down. Okay.
No, they're not particularly far down, but they're
but-
concrete sort of. They're slightly mounded. Like I say,
Oh,
if you've
it's
ever
okay.
seen the
Right.
one on the way to Sacristan,
I think we're just going to have to take some road trips, aren't we?
You're gonna
Yeah.
have, probably gonna have to take some road trips, or perhaps if you knew what you were looking for and you could get somebody to overfly it with a helicopter, you'd certainly be able to scratch
True.
some off, because if you encountered anywhere it was obvious that collapsed, or where it was obvious stuff had been built over the top of them or whatnot, you could
Mhm.
scratch them off your list. Yes.
But
go
the
ahead.
thing is, though, if you were to use Street View, you could probably roll on the roads past them, and you could tell whether or not they were actually in use potentially.
The majority of them are not that close to public roads. Some are.
Right.
The sacristan one, you pass within. If you reach your arm out, you can touch the fence it's on the other side of. You could hop the fence, and it's about 6-7 meters, so it's not far from the road at all. Some of them are a lot further away. Some of them are in the middle of fields that you'd have to walk like 300-400 yards to.
Mathfin and Slaley kind of out of the way.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
However, you reckon if you were to put some more time in on your research, you might be able to find out a little bit more. It's entirely up to you guys.
What's that dotted line bleeding out as South Shields?
That is a ferry route.
All right, okay.
Okay.
It's not.
We
It's
could
not
live.
sewage
We could
pipeline.
live on a boat. We could live on a boat. How cool would that be?
These
In the
things
North
came
Sea.
out of the sea.
Yeah.
Came out of the sea. Came out
Yeah.
from the river.
We'll be fine.
We'll go to Sealand.
I see that. Yeah.
That's not going to be there.
Yeah, probably
Don't
not.
ruin my dreams.
So,
Childhood dreams.
could I get another intelligence research roll from both Rab and Thomas, please? Because it's a cooperation, what will happen is we take the highest roll as the success or failure, but we add the stunt points from both. So, in this instance, we've got another pass, and we've added 8. So it's now taken you 2 hours to get to what I'm about to tell you, which means everybody else will be starting to return by the time I've finished telling you this. So, you're up to 18. That will get you everything shy of that. So let me just start here. Okay, so as you know, during the 1990s, a large number of local bunkers were demolished due to the end of the Cold War. Some were simply locked off and abandoned. A small number were sold into private hands. A lot of the surviving bunkers are ROC observation posts, and many are quite easy to find. According to Subterranean Britain, a number of the bunkers not demolished in the decommissioning of the 90s have since been vandalised, some to the point of complete destruction. However, the following bunkers strike you as likely places that you might find of interest. There's Easington ROC post, Ponteland ROC post, Sacristan ROC post, and Stannington ROC post. In addition to the abandoned sites, there are a number of major bunkers located inside active Royal Air Force bases in or around Newcastle, including RAF Boomer up by Alnwick, which is still an active Royal Air Force base, and including one World War II bunker slap in the middle of Newcastle, which is not currently used, but it's in the middle of a Royal Air Force facility that is currently used, a training facility. It's on MOD land and is therefore guarded. However,
So all we got to do is break into an RAF base. Easy.
well, yeah, real easy.
Yeah, we've seen the documentaries. Allo.
Yeah.
No way we can find out the sizes of each of these.
You could keep looking and see if you can find out more about the sizes. Other than that, it would be a visit out there. Now, I'm just going to transfer some of this information, the stuff you found out about, into the players section.
It would make sense to have the bigger bunkers near the bigger cities or towns.
It's also whether you guys want to look at the ones furthest away first or the ones nearest.
I just need to break a couple of links here, otherwise you're going to get information you shouldn't get. So just give me a second to find the links I need to break.
It's okay. Leave them in. We won't click on them. Honest gov there.
be best to try looking at the ones furthest away now before things really go to shit and it's more difficult to travel
Indeed.
longer distances.
Yeah, I was thinking, because like, if we get a one in Newcastle, if Newcastle becomes like an epicenter for all the alien stuff, we're just going to be stuck in the bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Sacristan's probably the furthest one away out of them.
Sacristan? No.
No, the one over this area, whatever it's called.
Slaley.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should
I mean, we can.
go on
You ever
sooner
been?
rather than later.
Have you ever
Look,
been
it's
out?
it's only 70 miles away. It's not bad.
We're here, Ben.
We're here. Where? Oh, Jarrow. 23.
Not quite.
30.
No, not quite. Like, sorry, it's too close.
Apparently, we'll send somewhere in that.
That's
Yeah, about there. That'll do.
That's Jasmine there.
Yeah, that one's definitely the furthest. 20 miles out. 20 miles isn't too bad in the car.
20
Yeah,
miles
there's
is not
an
bad
hour.
in the car at all. No.
If you go along this top road,
You mean the 69?
Nice.
That was an RLC.
If any of you ever driven out over that way, it's not. Cool Bridge,
Amazon vans.
Hayden Bridge, Stanhope St John's Chapel.
We could live in a church.
Strange way to drive that.
Can we live in Can we break into Durham Cathedral and just live there?
No,
What would that be?
I think they might notice.
What are you going to do? Claim sanctuary?
Yeah, just use the
I'm
knocker.
singing it.
Can't arrest us.
It's in my head now.
It's not the actual knocker. The knocker's inside in the museum there now. The one on the door is a replica. There you go.
It's in a museum, is it?
Not for long.
It is, and as Erin's dad tells you, not only that, you know, you're asking us about weapons earlier. Well, the museum inside the cathedral's got the falchion that what do they call it, man? The thingy falchion. My mind just lets me down a little bit. It's my age, you know, but it's got the falchion that was supposedly used to kill the lantern worm.
What?
Mate, I didn't know what one of the falcon things are, but I want one.
Ah, right. Well, it's a type of mid-length sword with a very the blade gets broader as it gets to the end. It's a bit like a machete, really. It's like a medieval version of a machete.
It's like a big two-handed scimitar.
Well, they're single-handed, but yeah. But the story of that one's quite interesting because that's the one that Lord Lambton was supposed to have used when he killed the Lambton worm, which was a dragon that used to live in this area, according to legend, like obviously.
That's why the story of the Jabberwocky is in what do you call it? Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. It's also what it's what Lair of the White Worm by Bram Stoker was
It's
based
about,
on.
yeah.
Lambton worm. You see, you'll have me singing it in a minute if you're not careful. Wished lads had your gobs, I'll tell yous all an awful story. Wished lads had your gobs, I'll tell yous about the worm. That's as far as I'm gone. The other day I had to try and sing that in a Mediterranean accent. It didn't go at all well.
You have to.
I didn't really.
You just had to.
I wound up singing it in German for some reason. When you try to sing a song that was written in northeast dialect, but you're trying to sing it in a sort of generic Mediterranean accent, your brain just gets really confused, and I wound up singing it in German for some reason. Wischt lads had your gobs.
That's why you can't.
We have ways of making you listen to the song. I do apologise
Slightly
to.
racist
I was
German
going to say I do apologise to anyone from Germany, or indeed Earth.
Your Blue Yonder character makes sense now.
Yes, exactly.
Have I arrived at the centre yet?
Yes, you arrive outside the life centre and you see your boss waiting for you outside. He's kind of wringing his hands slightly and looking around.
Right.
Very nervous.
Yeah. Ah, there you are. There you are.
Right.
Yes.
Say, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Ben, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say that I'm taking a duffel bag with my crossbow in it just because I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I do have my weapons on my back. I would have had them on at all times anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so you're talking to Professor fuck's sake, Lindsay. It's not even a difficult name, just couldn't manage it at all there. Excuse me. And there should be a section in here for sample analysis. There we go. Okay, so what are you saying?
I'm going to say if I'll show him the actually, I say, shall we get inside first?
Yeah, let's. Okay. I've set up a meeting with somebody from here. Let's see if we can talk them into lending us a lab.
Okay.
So, have a bit of a chat with them first. Decide what you are and what you are not telling them, and then we'll work out whether you manage to talk them into letting you in.
I'm trying to think of what would get me in.
Wait, so we're trying to get in. I was at the toilet, sorry.
Right. You're trying to get the use of one of the BSL-3 labs at the Life Centre.
And there's someone using it and we need to get them out there.
No, you're trying to get use of it. He doesn't work here. He works at Durham. Right? You're trying to talk this facility into allowing you the use of a BSL-3 lab. Now, to give you an idea, BSL is biological safety level. There are 4 recognised BSLs. Level 1, every lab should be at least level 1 BSL. That involves simple things like making sure you wash, making sure you wear goggles when you're dealing with things and whatnot. BSL 2 is for slightly more contagious but non-lethal, or likely to be non-lethal pathogens. BSL 3 is where you would study things that could be lethal to humans. And BSL 4 is where you deal with the real killers. That's the.
So why aren't we getting a 4?
Because there are only 7 in the UK and none of them are in the northeast.
Oh, right, okay.
And only 4 of them are actually active at any given time.
Quick question.
Yes.
Would this Professor Lindsay not have contacts and or know somebody high up in the organisation?
Oh yeah, he does. He'd definitely give you a bonus to attempting to convince them to lend you the use of the.
Cut them in on the research.
He
Yes?
he is probably on the releases to the Environment Board, or ACRE as it's called.
Yeah.
Which is like anything that's contagious in terms of biology. Could he not could we say that we've got some molecular
critical research.
that's kind of possible contaminated. Currently, it's currently secure, but we were needing to use the lab to a clean area to examine it, and because of this current situation going on at the moment, this is the safest place to do it.
Okay. The people you're speaking to are primarily from the board of directors and whatnot. They are themselves scientists, but they've been kind of out of the actual lab work again for a while. So let's see if you can convince them. You're hitting all the right buttons. Professor Lindsay will also offer to put in some grant money towards the use of the laboratory. So make a communication persuasion roll with a +2 bonus for Professor Lindsay, please.
+2 to that.
+2 to that. Let's see. That's 15. You needed a 13 to pass. Well done. Okay, so you spend some time explaining how you have 3 biological samples that you would like to test. You want to do it somewhere safe. Professor Lindsay explains to them that we have none of these biological samples are in themselves pathogenic. One is an animal, one appears to be some kind of organic acid that the animal spat, and one appears to be some kind of slime mold that we do not believe is, let's just say, local for the time being. Adam would like to run some tests on these. Now, although we don't think there's any risk of pathogenic infection from these things, obviously we're not willing to take the risk, which is why we've come to ask you if we can use a BSL 3 lab. To speak to you a little bit, and you talk about all the things you just said to me there, and how you intend to run the thing, and eventually they agree. Go on, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm guessing there's like photologists and micrologists here that could help.
Absolutely. They will give you a staff to help you with the job. Now then, you have 3 samples.
Yeah.
Any NPC can only work on a single sample. You can choose to work on as many as you want simultaneously. The more you work on, the more tired you'll get, the more risk there is of a issue. So let me just give you the team.
It's quite funny because I've just realised that my guy has no idea what any of this is. He's surrounded.
I'll give him a small roll down then. So, like, a photologist specialises in the study of the actual cells of a plant. A mycologist studies in fungi, and the botanist studies in the plant life itself.
That's right.
You guys are going to be discussing all of the biology and that of the creatures that you're studying, and I'm just going to be there like, why the fuck did I come along?
I'll send them to the local cafe.
You need a coffee boy. Keep supplying with coffee. And the thing is, when he rolls a 111 doing the research, that's when he makes the mistake of drinking down the sample. Coffee. You know how, like, when you're painting miniatures?
Yes. Yeah, and
you roll that 111 when you reach for your tea.
Yeah.
And it's actually the paint wash.
Yes, I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink tea, so I never suffer from that issue.
No, I drink coffee, and I keep making the mistake
anymore.
I keep making the mistake of drinking coffee while I'm painting. So the number of times I've drunk me paint water is now off the chart.
Joe, your skills in being able to like keeping that watch out is probably going to be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a crossbow as well. So if any sneaky scientists come in,
no. Guys, what you should be on the watch out for is government snitches. The place will be rife with government snitches.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you need to be watching for.
Hey guys, I brought you tea. Thunk. Oh, sorry, Mary.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be shooting people at random. We're not at that part of the campaign yet, but we probably will get there. And if I leave you to it, probably a lot sooner than intended. Has the sample
Why do I envisage a future for Joe in which he becomes Negan?
Yes. Okay, has the sample analysis section popped up for you yet?
It has.
Excellent. So you'll see you've got a team of people there, and you also have several different things you can start testing. So where would you like to begin? The 3 things you have to test are, let me just see now, you have the acid sample from the acidic spit from the Man of War. You've got a Grex sample, and you have a Man of War sample as well that you took from the one that was hit by the train.
Okay, I'll give the Man of War sample to Callahan.
Yep.
I'll give the spit to Fielding and the other one to Lindsay.
Okay.
But no, and then eventually Callahan would pass it off to Harp afterwards.
Okay, so which ones are you going to be helping with? And which ones
I will help
with,
because I've got some information myself from leveling up, obviously. I'm a little bit intrigued in the biological of the alien life, so I'll probably do that.
So you want to check the Man of War sample first, yeah?
I believe that Professor Lindsay is smart enough, smarter than me in terms of botany to be okay on his own.
Okay.
have
Give.
some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, if you're gonna make him do something, you can do that first. These were just trivia.
No, go ahead. Ask your trivia question first while I make a couple
I
of
was
notes.
gonna ask, these guys, are these all trusted and like employed by this
Yes.
company?
The Life
Okay.
Centre, yes.
And then I am going to. I want to keep watch, so I like guards. I'll kind of like do my rounds inside and outside, just making sure no one comes in without
Okay.
my knowing.
Yeah. Okay, give me a perception seeing test, please. Also, give me a...
No ID, no entry.
Yeah, exactly. Also, give me a dexterity stealth test.
Ah, shit. Wait, I think I have a skill actually to re-roll that. I think I do.
I think you might have as well.
What's that
observation? I do. So I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not much better, but currently you're keeping an eye out for anybody that you think doesn't belong here.
Did you say stealth as well?
Yes, please. This is
Hiding?
No, not hiding. You're going to be... This is to see if you look as if you fit in or not, really. Or if you start to attract attention.
Got a
Okay,
19.
you're pretty used to just hanging around in places you're not supposed to be in such a way that people assume you are supposed to be there. This is very easy for you. Every time you see somebody, you just behave as if you belong here.
Yeah, we're in the street, like,
Walking around with a clipboard.
Yeah, walking around with a clipboard, effectively taking notes off the things, occasionally watching people through the laboratory windows. Occasionally you'll go into one of the laboratories and talk to somebody briefly as if you were supposed to be there. Nobody asks any questions at all about who you are. Nobody even notices that you're not wearing an ID. Actually, you probably will have been given an ID as you arrived with...
basic visitor's ID.
Yeah, to be visitor.
Okay, so Adam, you were going to look into the Manor War. So give me a intelligence biology test, please. Okay, you can take 3 points of investigative stunts as well if you would like, and I will add 3 onto your...
How's everyone's science lesson today?
So a science lesson from me and my degrees in this.
Yes.
All the stuff in the game about biology, I wrote it.
Yeah.
Let's hold on. Where is it? Stunts.
Yes. If you'd like to tell us what you're going to use them on, because currently this is an advanced test, which means every 2 hours in the case of this one, you will
Which
make
kind of stunt? Sorry.
investigation stunts. I think, please. Yeah. So as I was saying, every 2 hours you get to make one of these rolls. If you pass, your target number's 13. If you pass, you get to add your stunt points into a pool. When your stunt points accrue to enough, you will learn things about the creature. So you'll learn something when you've accrued 5, 10, 15, and there may or may not be something at 20. You don't know till you try.
I think exploration's the only investigation there in stunts.
Yeah, exploration stunts will do.
So I got 3. I'm gonna do a point for Stitch in time. To you put in an effort to do right the first time, setting it up for the success. Gain the 1 + 1 SP for the next roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you make the second roll, and that'll be you having been gone for the 4 hours, and I'll go back to deal with everybody else. So if you want to make your second roll, remembering to add that +1 per SP, so that's +3 you get to add.
Well, the other 2 points was to get granting a bonus equal to SP when a plan comes together.
Okay, yep, go for it. Make the roll, apply the bonuses, tell us what you got.
13.
Okay, so 13, you've just scraped a pass there. It's taken you 4 hours to learn the following. The creature is not significantly more robust than that of a human. It has an endoskeleton in its upper body, but not in the tentacles, and the endoskeleton is, if anything, slightly more delicate than that of a human's. However, this endoskeleton is protected by greater muscle sheeting. Due to the nature of the sheeting, the animal is unlikely to be significantly stronger than a fit human, but the sheeting will resist more forms of impact and even ballistic damage. Having a denser, fibrous nature than most terrestrial musculature, the creature has a tubular mouth and lacks any form of teeth, suggesting that the creature does not bite and chew, but rather eats by drinking the nutrients of its victims. It may therefore be a carrion eater, or it may pre-digest its meals. The creature's tentacles are prehensile, strong, and capable of supporting the creature's weight on land.
Bit like a mosquito, isn't it?
Makes sense about the acid
Parts
then,
of it.
actually.
Yeah, it does indeed make sense about the acid, yes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to move
Isn't
everything.
that what flowers do?
Yes.
Can I get any of this information? Like, can I get like a tab or something like they've got for the grocery list, but
Yep.
for like my tablet?
Just working on it now. Yeah. There we go. So if I save those changes, that should put everything you haven't learned out of sight of you. And yeah, show to players. Show to everyone. Okay, so the Man of War sample should have popped up now. It tells you everything you've learned so far. Okay. However, you're aware there is a lot more to learn, but it's taken you 4 hours to get that far. You'll notice it tells you the difficulty, the challenge is TN13. That means every time you roll, you need to score 13 or better to succeed. If you do so, I will add the stunt points to your success threshold. Currently, your success threshold, I should probably include that, is up to success threshold. Actually, we haven't been rolling for whoever was with you, have we? Who did you say was helping you?
Callahan.
Lindsay was doing the.
Yeah, just who's helping with the Man of War?
Oh, sorry, James Callahan.
James Callahan. Okay, so that is
Wasn't he a Prime Minister?
He was, yes. Okay, so he should have had 2 roles as well. Oh, why is it asking for an external link when this is not an external link? This worked earlier in the day.
The API hasn't switched itself off, has it?
The API might have switched itself off. Let me just try somebody else's to see if theirs works. Ah, bollocks. Okay, that's fine. I need to roll 3d6 and add 6. Let me just roll that. It's annoying when you test something in the morning to make sure it's working, and then when you come back, it isn't. Actually, he was no use to you at all on the first roll. On the second roll, however, he most certainly was. So that's added another 4 points to your current threshold. You were on 5, you're now on 9. Okay, so which okay. So I'm just gonna reduce that, and then we're going to open the what would you like to have one of the other teams working on at the same time? What would you like us to work on next?
Sally Phelan's going to look at the acid.
Okay, you said that just a little bit too quickly for me. Just give me a second to reopen the where the fuck's the thing? Introduction, research, sample analysis. There we go. Okay, who's looking at the acid? Sorry,
Sally Fielding.
Sally Fielding, the biochemist. So I need to roll 3d6 and add 6 for her. So just give me a second.
You would think she would have a PhD with intelligence of 4.
Well, it takes. Doesn't matter how intelligent you are. You've still got to go through the entire program.
I guess.
You don't just rock up there on day 1 and go, "There's your PhD, off your fuck." Right, that's a pass with 4 points going straight into the pool. So on our first 4 hours, I should probably take a look at this. Acid sample on a first 1 hour. So acid sample, pool, 4 time 1. So you need another few rules from her yet. I'm just going to close that.
Can I do some research just for fun? It'd be funny if I got it and the PhD guys didn't.
I tell you what, why don't you roll 3d6 and add 6 for me?
Sure.
You can make the rolls instead of me making them. I'll just tell you what I need. Gives you something to do.
12.
Okay, so Sally has by the second.
Oh wait, no, sorry. That I'll put +3 instead, so it'll be.
It'll be
15.
higher than that. Yeah, that's
I'm an
okay.
idiot.
Well, we know, but that's okay. Okay, so by the end of the second hour, Sally has learned the following: the acid is actually not, strictly speaking, an acid. It is and it isn't. It's actually a digestive enzyme. It would seem, therefore, that the creature tries to partially digest the victims before devouring them. However, it is oddly quite weak for a digestive enzyme. Give me another roll, because I'll take her up to the 4 hours that Chris has spent.
14 that time.
14 that time, and one more added in there. Okay, so the reason the digestive enzyme seems weak is that it is not operating at peak proficiency. Something about Earth's environment is degrading its efficacy. The most likely culprits are the pH balance of the environment and foodstuffs, or the temperature. This is likely because we also see terrestrial life forms with digestive enzymes that are most effective within certain environmental ranges. For example, thermal lipase adaptation in copepod centrophages of the South. I've said South Pacific here. I think I meant South Pacific, versus those of the Calanus glacius or Arctic copepod. So, what that tells you in plain English is that the creature is not adapted for the climate, not very well. Even though it's summer here, it's too cold for the creature, to the point that its digestive enzymes are not operating at full efficiency. Which means, you remember what it did to Erin when it spat the acid on her?
Yeah.
It should have been much worse. The only reason it wasn't is because it's designed to operate in a much, much higher temperature.
I feel sorry for the people in the desert.
Yep, exactly.
That's why the fire extinguishers worked so well.
It's exactly why the fire extinguishers worked so well. These creatures don't appear to be designed for the cold. Now, it's taken her 3 hours to get there, so make one more roll and we'll see if she learns anything else in the same time. It took Chris to learn what he learned.
If we could somehow capture one of those. She got a 12.
She got a 12 and only 1 on the stunt
Proper
dice,
shit
that
roll.
only adds 1. So she doesn't learn anything else in the last hour, but she does feel there's probably still some stuff to learn. Okay.
Are these creatures warm-blooded?
These creatures are warm-blooded, yes.
Okay.
But it's by terrestrial standards, it's at the colder end of what warm-blooded should be. But they are technically warm-blooded, yes. In that they can regulate their own body temperature to a degree. They're not as efficient at reducing their temperature as we are, though.
So, you know how, like, warm-blooded animals in, like, hotter climates,
Mhm.
their blood would be, like, at a, I don't know, like a cooler temperature than ours to accommodate for the extra sunlight?
Mhm. Mhm.
Could you use that to maybe guesstimate what temperature their planet is?
Yes.
Or what temperature they're used to?
Yes, you could.
You could?
Yes.
Okay.
You could indeed. You could also use it to guesstimate what temperatures are going to be particularly dangerous to them.
That could be really useful.
Okay, question for everybody else. Would you like me to move on to someone else's activity, Or do you all want to hear the studies for the next thing, which would be the Grecs?
I'm happy to hear.
I don't mind.
Okay. Let's do
He
the
slimed us.
let's do the stuff for the.
May I make a quick future note?
Yes.
If we can get to a astronomy lab or something like that to actually analyze the sky.
Yes, you could do that. Put it on your to-do list on the page there.
Okay.
Observatory.
Yeah. One of the reasons for the to-do list, by the way, is it also helps me as a games master know what to prep. So if you put things you want to do in the future on your to-do list, I can, for example, Rab wants to rob the museum, so you might want to stick that on the to-do list as well. So I know to go and prepare a map for a museum and so on. And I now know to go and prepare an adventure set in the observatory as well. Okay, so who have you got checking the Grecs?
That is Lindsay.
That is Professor Lindsay themselves. Okay. Ben, would you like to go ahead and roll a 3d6 plus 6 for me, please?
She got a +6 as well. She got a 20.
It's Keith Lindsay.
He got a 20.
Yes.
Sorry, I just heard Lindsay. Keith got a 20.
Okay, so, and it takes 6 stunt points as well, if you'd like to have a look at the appropriate stunt points and see stunt options and see where you'd like to use them on.
Uncle.
And this is on the
Which ones would
Grecs.
this be?
So that's time.
Did you allow Chris to use? Was it exploration? Chris was using.
Yes, that's right.
Get some cash.
Okay. Not sure that's going to help in these.
No,
circumstances.
that was like joking.
Alright, okay. So this is the Jello mold sample.
I'll use when a plan. I'll use 3 on when a plan comes together.
Okay.
Granting a bonus equal to the SP spent on one ally's next test during the same encounter. And use 3 on a stitch in time, and get plus 3 SP.
Okay, right. So he's working on his own, so he's going to have to grant that himself as the ally, which is bending the rules a little bit, but I'm going to allow it. It's going to take him all day as the time increment, so he only gets the 1 roll. So today he's only learned the following. The sample of the mold-like substance found on the Manowar shares certain similarities with the terrestrial slime mold. However, it is a colony of eukaryotic organisms that can live freely as single cells or can combine to form a larger colony which develops certain characteristics of its own. That's the area in which it's very similar to a terrestrial Grex. It's still alive.
Oh. So is it dormant?
It's not even dormant. It's currently in its non-Grex phase, which means it's currently acting as a lot of single-celled amoeba. There aren't enough of it have come together yet to form a full Grex, but it is giving off a pheromone. He suspects
the pheromone is to attract the others.
It's to attract more to build a Grex with, yes.
That's good that it's alive, though. That means we can do all tests on it.
Oh, yeah, that's real good that it's alive.
Let's burn it.
What
burn
could
it.
possibly go wrong?
I don't know what science.
Or freeze it.
Okay, so that's you guys have spent the day in the laboratory anyway. That's what you've learned over the course of your 4 hours study. And I'm going to cut back to someone else. So, starting at the top, we've got the shopping trip. So, Marie, Jenny, what you're up to?
Well, there was still a couple of things I wanted to try and get.
I had a feeling there might be. Let's have a look.
I don't know if Marie wants anything, but I was looking at.
I'm just here to carry the bags, man.
Fair enough. I was looking at getting some kind of like Swiss Army knife type thing.
Yes.
And
You can get a decent Swiss Army knife at any survival shop, sports shop, or the fish and tackle shops. There's a few. There's loads of places in town you can get those. Now then, the Swiss Army knife, it's not particularly useful as a weapon. It can be used as an improvised weapon in absolute emergencies. It's
Yeah.
primarily a tool, obviously.
Yeah.
You can get quite a decent quality one with lots of tools on it. What's your current resources? 6.
6, yeah.
So +4, that would take you up to 10. Fuck, right. Okay, how many do you want?
Oh god. I'll just get a few.
Okay.
Unless, I mean,
Well, let's see. You've got 6. That takes you up to 10. So the 10. You can get 3 of them without needing a resources test. 4 if you
Yeah.
make a resources test.
I'll say 3.
3. Okay. Add them to the inventory.
Okay. Also,
Mhm.
a refillable lighter.
Refillable lighters, you can get as many as them as you want. They're like 75 pence each. At least they were when I was smoking. That's a good 10 years ago, actually. Now, come to think of it, they might be up to £1 by now.
I've got no idea.
Yeah, a pound.
Yeah, or £1 either. There you go.
Definitely want to make sure we've got coffee.
Yep. Coffee and refillable lighters. You can add those to your inventory without having to roll.
Now, if I got something like a good quality leather jacket sort of thing,
Yep.
would that be some reasonable amount of like a little bit of armor, maybe?
You could probably go get a motorcycle suit from Westgate Road. That would definitely include some armour.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll do that then, yeah.
Or there are plenty of places in town you could just buy a bike jacket, which would give you a measure of armour. It wouldn't be a huge amount, but it would be some.
Would I get any sort of negatives for wearing a full
Motorcycle suit, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, according to this, it says yes.
Does it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your squeak can be sweaty.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, I'll look at getting a bike jacket then.
Okay, bike jacket. Currently, your resources are 6 plus 4 is 10, so you're gonna need a roll. It's gonna be fucking difficult to fail it, but do go ahead and try. Unless you scored all ones, I think we're probably okay, right?
All 2s.
Nope, that's fine. You also picked up 2 stunt points. Not sure there's a great deal you can do with that. So, your bullet-resistant cloth armor... Sorry, you're not buying bullet-resistant cloth armor. You're buying a motorcycle leather jacket. Yeah? So, the armor rating is as follows. It is 2 points for impact.
Okay.
It is 0 ballistic.
Okay.
It has 0 penalties.
Okay.
Very nice.
Right. And I think that's probably it for
Okay.
what I was thinking of for now.
Okay.
Well, this wasn't too extensive.
It wasn't too
Gloves,
exciting.
gloves. Get yourself some gloves.
Actually, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Decent
maybe-
motorbike gloves are good.
The Yakko gun, right.
Couldn't think of it.
Or what's it? Some of them armored gloves you can pick up in the pound shop.
Yeah.
Mm.
They
May as
tend
well
to
get
sell.
some. May as well get some steel toe boots and everything.
Steel toe cap boots do actually convert your kicks from stun damage to wound damage.
Really?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would suggest I probably already have some steel toe cap boots.
You
for working in.
Absolutely should have, I think, yes.
Well, I probably wouldn't. I would only want to get stuff that doesn't have penalties, though.
It wouldn't have a penalty.
Okay, well, I'll go for getting some gloves then
Okay.
to go with that, and also boots.
Okay, you buy some steel toe cap boots and some slap gloves. Slap gloves are they're a heavy leather glove. They've got powdered, there's powdered iron, I think, in the pouches above the knuckles, which means if the knuckles impact anything, the powdered, whatever it is, forms around, sort of tightly around the knuckles, so you don't hurt yourself, but whatever you are hitting is going to take more damage. They will turn an unarmed punch from stun damage to wounding damage if you're wearing the gloves when you do it. And
cool.
the steel toe cap boots will do the same for kick damage.
Okay.
They're actually used by motorcyclists just so that if you hit the ground, you don't fracture your knuckles. That's why they wear them. But some military units use them so that if you get into hand to hand, you can punch somebody with much more. It's much more devastating.
There was an advert on the internet there, just maybe a month ago, for armored gloves for basically they were cut proof.
Yes.
So there was a guy was punched through a windscreen on a car, and he was just pulling the glass up, picking it up and stuff. So and he was getting a knife and was sort of slicing across the palm of his gloves, and it was no effect on it.
Yeah.
I'll probably actually one last thing.
Yes.
Maybe get some kind of sewing repair kit thing, just for quick.
Okay, again at your resource level, even though you've been spending quite a lot, so I should probably start upping things. That would you are gonna the amount you're spending, you are gonna need another test for this. But again, unless you roll all ones, you're gonna be fine.
It's okay, she's checked her bank account and she's got enough to live comfortably for the rest of her life, providing she dies in Wednesday.
Shut up, you. I do still have Chris's card, but I rolled alright. So.
Yeah, you're okay. You managed to pick up a sewing kit as well. So is there anything else you two are doing, or are you heading back to base?
I think I'm going to have to stop there, or I'm just going to keep going and going and going with thinking of things, so yeah.
Okay.
It's a generation game all over again. Cuddly toy, countering glasses.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm
Okay.
saying there's some kind of entertainment like magazines and games. To keep people sane.
Yeah. It is actually worth thinking about. Unfortunately, they're on the way back now, but it is worth thinking about that sort of thing. It's you need to keep.
I thought about something that I kind of want to buy.
Okay,
but
go
it would
for
be
it.
expensive.
Well, tell me what it is.
I know from experience on Amazon you can get night vision goggles.
You can, yes.
I mean, I know good ones are thousands and thousands. So what would be the highest quality ones you think you could purchase?
Well, hold on, let me just have a look.
Some of them kids' toy ones from Toy Shop.
I know that the ones the American military use, they're technically on Amazon, but you need. Now this is in America. I remember reading that a normal civilian can't buy them, but an ex-soldier can, I think. I mean, obviously I can't.
They're on Amazon, but we may have to make a trip to the.
They're like $10,000 anyway, though.
We may have to make a trip to the Amazon warehouse in Gateshead.
Yeah. You could, yes, that's a possibility.
After dark, once it's closed.
Yeah. Okay, what's your current resources, Ben?
6.
Okay, so they are a touch on the expensive side. You are going to need to do two things. The first is you're going to have to decide whether you want true night vision goggles or whether you want thermal goggles.
Oh.
Now, thermal goggles will let you see heat signatures. Night vision
Which would
goggles.
be good against camouflage.
Yes, night vision goggles will let you see in the dark. So, not knowing what the heat signature is going to be off these creatures.
Man, you gave me a predicament. Oh, can I get both?
Yes, but it's going to be expensive.
I'll try. But if I can't get both,
Okay.
What do you guys think would be more worth it? More important, night vision or
Torch.
thermal?
It's all right,
The
Jenny.
torch.
Jenny's bringing torches.
I don't think we've looked into the aliens enough to know if they're going to be hot or cold blooded.
You did say that they were warm-blooded, the Man of Wars at least.
A
Yes.
little bit.
A
But
little
you did
bit.
say they were cooler.
Cooler than
So-
humans, yeah.
They would stand out, but maybe not. Okay, I'll prioritize the night vision
Okay.
just because, like, extra stealth.
Okay, roll 3d6 and add your resources for me, please.
It's turning into a Splinter Cell.
That's what I'm trying. Only a 16.
Only a 16. That is a pass.
Oh, good.
That is your pass. So you managed to find a set of night vision goggles that are within your price range. So you order them, make a note on your character sheet or in the inventory, whichever you prefer, that you have a set of night vision goggles. They will be delivered by Amazon tomorrow
Before 4 p.m.
before 4 p.m. There's a slight chance the guy will ring you from outside Jenny's house trying to find Jenny's house. But apart from that,
It'll be like that thing where it's like, you can get them delivered on Wednesday for free, or you can get them delivered on Tuesday for only £700 extra.
yeah.
Wednesday's fine.
Well, I ordered something for Jenny earlier in the week and had it delivered to her place, right? And the guy couldn't find it because when Marie and I had put the details in, we'd transposed the numbers in her address, we'd got them the wrong way around. But he was actually standing outside her house when he rang me to say, "Can I find it?"
Is that you? Is that you just standing outside looking aimless?
Well, I just described the house. He was like, "Oh, I'm standing outside that one." Right, okay, so you managed to get the night vision goggles. Are you going to try for the thermals as well?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, you're going to need another roll.
Another 16.
Fuck's sake, okay. However, that's two big purchases. Combined, they would have taken you over the threshold of 10. So, reduce your resources by 1 temporarily.
That's fine.
It's going to be a bit tight for the rest of the
actual
month.
maximum.
Ah, right, yes. In that
Because
case,
when I robbed the Sports Direct before, I got a +1.
you did,
Thankfully.
so that'll actually drop you down permanently back to your original 5. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll also be delivered by Amazon tomorrow. Where are you having them delivered?
That's a good point, actually. Jenny, do you think your house will be safe at 4 p.m.?
Well, don't let Brian describe it.
No.
Try and get them delivered to a box, an Amazon box somewhere.
Yeah,
I
you
want
can
them delivered.
you can do click and
Yeah,
collect
yeah.
if you want.
Yeah, whatever.
But you could have them delivered to either Lizzie's address or
Could have them delivered to my house. To be fair, I haven't been back there in a couple of days.
Anyway,
Just kind of a.
because I had imagined bizarrely that this was a question I'd get an answer to before I hit another birthday, I'm going to speed past this and assume you make an arrangement that is suitable for you. So,
Yes.
heading over to Rab and Thomas, what are you guys doing?
right.
You
so
spent an hour on the research you did earlier, so you've currently got the rest of the day. Sorry, go ahead.
right. Does Rab actually disclose his plan for the museum may contain some swords?
I don't know, Rab, have you explained that yet?
Yeah, I said look at hitting museums because they'll have access. It's guaranteed to have weaponry of some
Right.
form, which is better than nothing.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Is it possible for us to actually do a lookup online and see what's currently on at the current museums in the area?
Yes. Yes, you can do that. Give me a... in fact, I'm not even going to ask for a roll for that because they'll be making this easy. So yes, you do find that one of the local museums does have a display of weaponry throughout the ages, used handily. That should be exactly the sort of thing that that you're kind of looking for? I mean, how comfortable you are about robbing a museum.
Very.
Obviously, Rab's fairly confident, fairly
Obviously,
happy.
Rabbit has a complex social justice agenda where he realizes and recognizes that most of the things held by museums were stolen in the first place. So all he is doing is repatriating them, just
I want a pure
throwing them on the
liberty.
way.
Especially if there's some like Highland claymores and what have you in there.
Well,
Beat
yes,
them
quite.
with the swords.
Holy shit! The Scottish used like explosives. Well,
No, but if you want
Yeah,
explosives,
we
and
do it. We also have things like electricity and internet, Ben.
Hot and
I
cold
was-
round water
I-
pen, you know, like Cartman curtains.
I thought you all just lived in like shacks.
no, that's Stanley you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you don't close the window and you're scared you might catch somebody's fingers.
Yes, exactly. And for anybody who thinks it's terrible that we are saying such things about a town, this is the town we live in. So, okay, so yeah, he's got a plan to essentially rob one of the local museums, and
That wouldn't happen to be the Hancock
it
Museum.
would happen to be the Hancock Museum because that's the one I've got a map of. Yes.
Yeah. How easy is it to get hold of a plan, a layout, sort of? We could actually take a tour because it's free.
You can take a tour. Yes, it will only
And-
show you through the public parts, of course, and not the private parts. Not sure that's quite how I meant it, but that might be enough for you. Also, actually, Ben, does anybody know what your character does for a living yet?
I haven't told anyone. I mean,
Okay.
the person I would be closest to tell him would be Rab when I'm offering him a job.
Aye. Okay, so yeah, you don't actually know that this is what Joe does for a living yet. So you're probably thinking, yeah, we could just take a tour and go and have a look around.
See
You
what
can
there
find
is.
floor
Make a
plans.
shopping list.
You can find floor plans of the Hancock Museum online.
You can.
You can only get floor plans though, and not anything underneath.
Get floor plans just from the pamphlets as you walk in.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other
I,
thing is, we could have somebody smarm up to one of the engineering on one of the curators.
We could
If
do.
that's the word.
Yeah.
Somebody that's like there, find out a bit of information about what they've got in the vault, etc. How well guarded it is, and what the security layout is. I'm starting to sound like I'm called Joe.
How tight is the security around your medieval gear? Because, like, you know, I mean, we don't want to steal it, but you know, like, if we were, how hard would it be?
If somebody,
That's Ben being subtle. I was thinking of being, you know, a little bit more guarded than that, but yeah.
yeah, okay, you can set up doing that. It depends. Do you want to try and do that today while everybody's out, or are you going to wait till everybody gets back and then assign it as a job for tomorrow? What would you prefer to do?
I'm just saying, I get my night vision tomorrow, which would be sick.
I'd say do it tomorrow.
I would say do it tomorrow. Do the recon and then
Yeah.
Oh,
plan.
sorry. Yes, I wasn't very clear. I meant, do you want to do the recon today, or do you want to do the recon tomorrow?
I think we need to have more people
For the
involved.
recon as well, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you cover more ground in a shorter time,
Okay.
and it doesn't look so suspicious if everybody's there making notes.
Absolutely. Yeah, if
And
one or
taking photos.
and taking
Taking
photos.
photos.
Yeah.
As a much having martial arts, I probably would be interested in this kind of thing.
Well, they do
I would
have some
think so, yes.
Japanese medieval armor and swords.
I mean,
It
no,
wouldn't be too suspicious people taking photos. I mean, it's a museum.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, but we're not. Not all of the photos are going to be of the exhibits.
Yeah.
I know, but like
We're going to
taking
be
couples,
looking
so
at
it
camera
doesn't look.
locations, exits, things like that.
That's
yeah,
right.
just
Yeah.
pose in front of this door for us, please.
Yeah.
And it's actually like I'm only just taking a picture of the top of your heads, but the security camera and everything else is in there, and the junction boxes are all in
Actually,
here.
what you guys could do really is distract the guards, and like me and Rab being the sneaky ones, we could just sneak in the basement or something.
And how are you going to get out?
Yeah, you want to come up
Back
with
the
a
way we
better
came.
plan than that.
Back the way we came.
Right, so clipboards and lab coats, etc.
We'll just
pretend you're
carry a
staff.
ladder. We'll just
And
carry
a
a
fake
ladder.
nose with a moustache hanging from it.
See, I like his thinking.
Pair of them plastic glasses with a tash.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one will ever know.
The fake news.
Okay, so the professional burglar wants to try the carry-on museum robbery approach, and everybody else wants to do it right.
I can see Joe coming out of it with a full samurai armor set.
I was thinking
God,
more
yeah,
Ocean's
probably.
11, you know, sort of
Yes.
thing, rather.
Ocean's 11 sort of style, a proper heist.
We're kind of more. Sorry, but we're kind of more North Sea 4.5 really here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Jesus
we've
Christ.
just
Puddle 3. Yeah.
yeah. I think we've just found the title for next week's episode.
Would there be actual guns in this museum, or would they be like replicas?
There would probably be replicas on display. They might have some actual firearms in the.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a modern weapons
No.
collection.
No,
Getting
no,
the bullet-
you're
getting
talking
the
black
bullets
powder.
with them.
I doubt any of us have got the requisite skills to field strip a proper weapon.
Yeah.
And oil it and maintain it and what have you. I mean, okay, so we could steal some books from a library.
I mean,
Google it. Sure, it'll be
there's
online.
still the Barnard Castle.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yes.
Kevin, we won't be able to guarantee the internet surviving.
But
Having
didn't any of
it
us need an
format
eye
is a
test?
good idea.
Hang on. So, are there any sort of like diving shops that sell anti-shark gear in the area?
We're in England. Not many
Um,
sharks in England.
I'll be on the coast, maybe.
Do you know there might be at Whitley Bay or somewhere? I don't know. I have to look that up.
I'm talking about enthusiast shops that would have like what's it? You know, like your shark spear guns,
yeah.
anti-shark spear guns in there.
There might be. That's something
You
I'm
could probably
probably.
get it on Amazon, but
True. Yes.
Anything on
That's
Amazon.
true. I mean, we're still dealing with society hasn't collapsed yet, although you guys are doing your best to cause it. So you could probably order a lot of the stuff you wanted on Amazon.
But the thing about it is though, how much restriction is there on that particular thing? I mean, crossbows,
Quite a bit.
bows, spear guns, and stuff might not be just anybody can buy them.
Crossbows and bows are pretty easily available. Yeah. Spear guns, I don't know. Actually, that's something I would have to look up the law on. I don't know. Firearms, I know the law on. Shotguns, I know the law on.
Spear guns powered by a rubber band do not require a license in the UK. So if we get a rubber band one,
Yeah, that would be very handy if you're hunting slugs. I assume it's a slightly more powerful rubber band.
Well, it could be one of them. What's it? Rock salt guns.
I probably would want.
Flies.
Yeah, I probably would want a diver's knife at some point so I can get better samples. You could say.
Yeah.
according
Okay,
to
should
Spearfish
probably.
in UK, it's legal to own a spear gun in the UK.
There you go. Thank
Okay.
you. There you go. So yes, you can order a spear gun if you would like to.
No, I'm just gonna download the what's its hand. Well, we won't go there, but
Yeah, I know what you mean,
making potato cannon. You know that type of
Yeah. Okay, so whilst you guys are doing the research on this and planning your little heist on the thing, you notice that so some of the other people you've got are a bit horrified at the very idea that you're going to rob her. I assume you're kind of discussing this quietly, actually, and not in front of everybody's parents.
Yes, out of the way in our room in the office.
In the office, yeah. Okay, that's fine. In point of fact, a lot of the friends and family have decided they're going to go back. They're going to head back home. Obviously, one exception is that Chris's girlfriend certainly isn't, because dead people live next door.
Mhm.
She's staying here. So, the rest of you arrive back with after your day's shopping and studies and whatnot. Having said that, I mean, Chris, if you want to stay, you've only done 4 hours at the labs. If you wanted to do a bit longer, you could.
What time of day is it?
Well, you'll have rung the boss fairly early. You'll have met him before lunchtime, so it's probably about 4 in the afternoon.
People have been knocking off at that time, I would suspect.
Yeah,
given-
people are starting to knock off, but it is a lab, so some people do tend to work through a bit. The number of people in the building are thinning out. Obviously, the security are changing over.
It's Sunday now, yeah. No, wait, you've said 2 days have passed, so it's Monday.
It's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday.
Just-
So what I would have had to give an excuse. Well, I guess I don't, because these are right next to me. Okay. Julia
Been
would have
standing at the
because of
store
her
for 4 hours.
111 work.
Yeah, she can.
She can work from home, so
She's not going home.
no, I'm saying that she would only need a computer and a phone.
Yeah, yeah. No, she'll have gone into the control room. She's certainly not working from home on that one, and it's getting a bit crowded for her at the base of operations. So she's going to go into work. She's then going to come back here and either sleep in the workshop or see if she can crash with Lizzie and her sister. But she doesn't want to go
For the
home.
girls too.
She's just completely nervous about going home because of the creatures that killed the next door neighbours. Just another man of war one day. Oh dear. Right, okay, so still didn't really give me a question. Are you guys heading back or are you staying at the lab to do a bit more work?
Sorry, I'll stay.
Okay. Right, so the rest of you get back. Chris and them have sort of messaged to say they're going to be a bit longer. They're going to try and get some more work done on these samples. So when the rest of you arrive, or I should say when Erin and Lizzy arrive back, you can find Rab and Tom are in the office poring over maps of some kind, like floor plans that they've printed out, and they've got they've got a picture of what looks like a medieval arms display up on the website. Up on the computer screen. You notice it's a website for the Hancock Museum, and Rab's cackling to himself a little bit, and both of them look well. Primarily, Thomas looks very slightly guilty when you come in. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
I was just laughing.
Ah, right, okay, yeah. Yep, that's what he's doing when you arrive.
Given the news today, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
Given the news today, we're all laughing at the word Hancock.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to them and say, "You're not planning on doing what I think you're doing, are you?"
I know what we're gonna do today.
So, Tom, Rab.
Where's Perry?
Is it ordering pizza? Because if it's ordering pizza, that would be really good, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, pizza sounds good.
We could order some food.
Yeah, you can order some food. What are you guys saying?
Civilization's no totally collapsed. There'll be a pizza shop open
Oh,
somewhere.
this is Newcastle. It'll be about 12.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody want to answer Erin's question? And who wants to order the pizza?
Okay, so I'll leave it to Rab to answer the question.
Right, so Thomas starts taking everybody's order for pizza, whilst Rab, would you like to explain to the rest of the group what your plan is?
Aye, man, what we're totally going to do, right, is tomorrow we're going to go to the museum and scout it out and that, right? because what we got to do is we got to get back in and we got to steal all the weapons and shit.
No one's surprised at this point, are they? Just all right.
Good question. Would Erin be the highest authority in terms of law here?
Erin's not involved in law enforcement.
No, but she's involved in what her job is. No.
No?
Emergency response.
Emergency
Yeah.
response, no?
It's
She's Coast Guard. Coast Guard aren't involved in law enforcement in the UK.
yeah. I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but
I have a suit. I think that means I'm in charge.
You're still
You're
at the
Yeah, I'm complaining that my legs are hurting.
oh god.
I've been standing for hours. Can we go home?
I have a blowtorch.
So could I
I'm
just
gonna
go?
say that. Why are you trying to steal, like, medieval weaponry or whatever the hell it is?
Because we can't steal any guns, can we?
Well, how's it going to be any easier to steal stuff from the museum?
Because, I mean, like, these were technically, like, stolen, right, and didn't really belong to him because they're all dead.
I fucking love Rob.
I mean,
say-
technicality, right?
Okay.
It's
I
a
mean,
Robin Hood moment.
Do you even know how to use these weapons?
You hold the handle and you hit them with the, like, sharp bit.
Right then.
Come with a pointy end.
I'm just gonna sort of sidle away slowly.
Okay.
Who had Marie had the Game of Thrones quote at 10:22 because you won.
Okay, those of you who are back at base, could you move yourself back into the party box, please?
Yay!
Would I be
Pizza
able to-
party.
Would I be able to get a text update from someone back at the base?
Maybe asking for our pizza.
Yes, what would people like to text them?
I can't move myself back.
Oh, can you not? Okay, I'll move
I'm
you.
going to be very annoyed if we get back and you're all stuffing yourselves with pizza and you haven't asked us about it.
I can
Yeah,
get you a
move-
pizza delivered here. God's sake.
We'll get you a Hawaiian.
Oh god.
Extra pineapple for you.
Something's
Actually,
even
isn't
wrong with it.
Actually, if you literally walk out of the life center and go across the road, there is a pizza place right there.
There is like there is.
Yeah, that's not
Probably more than one.
There's two next
Given-
door to
given
each other.
there's a
I
sub-
was going to say I've done a gig
Oh my
in
god.
that one of the things in the square, one of the
Oh.
nightclubs in the square, and I can assure you there's about 6 pizza joints around there because
Yeah.
I've had to go from one to the other trying to find a vegan pizza.
There's two next to each other. Then if you go down a little bit, you wind up on the big market, and there's about 14 there. There's the Persian restaurant, which does takeaway as well. Sorry, you were trying to
it's a
say
Greek
there,
one.
Ben. Go ahead. Greek one.
I was
yes,
going to
yes.
say, you know that big museum, is it the National Museum in Newcastle?
There's the Discovery Museum. There's the
That's it.
Hancock.
It's the
There's
Discovery, that's the one I'm on about.
right. Okay.
Outside, they've got a prototype of the Challenger 2 tank.
Yes, that's a Discovery. Yes.
Can we get
Nope.
the tank?
Oh,
Can
no.
we have a tank?
Well, no, because it's embedded in concrete for a start, which makes it a little bit
Oh,
awkward.
that's the one from Vickers.
Yes, the one from Vickers.
That's where it went.
Yes, they moved it to outside the Discovery Museum when Vickers closed that factory. Yeah.
I think the
So
engine
just
was removed as well.
Completely theoretically,
Mhm.
if we were to, take it out the concrete, put like I don't know, maybe a Ford engine in
A
there.
Ford engine is not going to move a Challenger 2.
Do you reckon we could have a tank?
Do you
No.
know what the BHP on one of them Challenger engines is?
Yeah.
Like 1500?
Well, they were originally 1200. It's probably gone up since then,
Yeah.
but on the latest
But, like,
version.
put a couple of engines in it then, and we can power the battery off the solar pack Jenny bought. We've already got the tools.
Yeah, you're really onto plums here. There's no way. You could you could try and get a tank engine, or if somebody happened to know how to scratch build one, you could maybe get somewhere. But
Thomas is
Well,
working on.
I
like,
mean,
what
that
he's
was kind of
doing.
a joke, but it is feasible that we could get that tank.
No.
No,
Not really.
it's decommissioned.
Are you
What-
sure about that?
Won't have any bits in it.
I'm just gonna keep whispering. I'm gonna
I have a-
subconsciously embed it in Rab's skull until he never stops talking about it, and we have to get it.
It's just like asking for the rocket inside the inside.
Mm.
No, the
There's
train.
a rocket inside.
Yeah.
No, the train.
Guys,
There's a train
guys.
inside. Yeah. Right, stop talking now, Ben, or we're going to have to kill you.
A deadly pathogen from the lab.
Okay, so you reckon it's about 4 o'clock at night. What's everybody want to do next? What's the next step in your plan
we're
to
gonna-
prepare for the collapse of civilization?
Yeah, pizza shop won't be open yet.
Well,
True. Actually, some of them will. There are a few in Newcastle that are open more or less all day. Marie, go ahead.
well, I'm going to sort out getting an evening meal,
Okay.
whatever, whether it's McDonald's if it has to be. And my main plan is to stuff my face.
Yeah, that
Because-
works.
The only way you're going to get me to agree to a plan to break into a bloody museum is if I'm full of food and very drunk. And I think, yeah.
Yeah. Rab's got you covered with the drink
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
pharmaceuticals.
monsieur, with this buckfast, you're really spoiling it.
Okay, so currently, as I understand it, the plan for tonight is to eat. Then the plan for tomorrow is to go and reconnoitre the museum and start constructing a plan to liberate it of some of its more lethal.
Contentious what we're doing is we're liberating some contentious artifacts.
Right.
Are
There
we
we are.
all going to be doing this, or can some of us go and check out these bunkers?
Some, pardon me, sorry about that, guys. Yes, some of you can go and check out
Probably
the
a plan,
bunkers.
hey?
Yeah. Okay. Because I'd probably be up for doing that.
Yeah, okay. Would somebody like to bung in assignment 1, bunker hunting then? And whoever's going to go do the bunker hunting, move them down into the assignment 1 box.
And I'm guessing assignment 2 would be robbing the museum once me and Chris have came home.
Well, currently assignment 2 is still research alien life at the thing.
I have a few things I would like Joe to do, possibly,
Okay.
if I'm not able to do it myself.
Okay, go ahead.
What is it?
So I'm hoping to possibly, because I can't be here the whole time, I'm hoping to get some machines like an ultrasonic bath or a refrigerated centrifuge just for samples in the future. I don't know if
you
they're
want
actually
me to
like.
steal.
I don't know if they're movable inside
They're
this
not.
area.
No, they're not.
They're not portable.
So then I would have to order some then,
Yes.
and they're like
Could
10 grand, up to 10 grand or something each.
They're quite
But-
pricey, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think we could convince them that, oh yeah, we're just moving the old one out? Head office called us. We're moving the old ultrasonic machines out. The new one will be down here in 15 minutes or so, and then we just don't come back.
No, they'll be too big for that. You
Yeah.
need a truck to put them on, I would
That's right,
presume,
yes,
by
yeah.
saying
Yeah.
they're removable. So what you actually want is you want a field kit case of some description.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
clue here for centrifuge is in the name. Things are spun
Yeah.
at high centrifugal force, so they have to be under a great weight to counterbalance that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
work it out.
Yeah, they are quite heavy.
Yeah.
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 Like a washing machine, big block of concrete inside it.
Yes. Yeah.
This might be a future idea then.
It might be a future idea. Yeah. It's the sort of thing you might want to add to your to-do list.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know how to get that text that you're all using.
oh right.
Any
Okay.
text options.
Right. When you go in to do, when you pull down on the left-hand side, click the draw sort of the it's a picture of a paintbrush. Hover over that, then
There you
go
go.
over to text. Then on text where it says aerial, pull down to light instead, and that's it there.
What's the size you're using?
40.
That's big.
Yeah.
Or get smaller. Okay.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
she
yeah.
proclaimed.
The size it looks like it's going to be isn't the size it actually is once you pull the trigger on it, because it's just awkward like
Yeah.
that. Right, whoever's
I was trying to
doodling.
sort
That's
that.
fairly far down there. No, that's
Barrett.
Oh God.
I know who's doodling.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so you order pizza. Pizza comes, you have a pleasant dinner. During the course of your dinner, you're sort of exchanging a few texts with Adam, and he's telling you what they've found out so far. Just need to see what people are typing in there. That honestly, that's what I was worried was going to happen. Yes, I was actually going to say, whoever's doodling, do not draw a dick. You are not Laura Bailey.
Or Sam.
Yeah, or Sam.
Yeah. True.
Okay, so right. So far, we've got just Erin wants to go to the bunkers. Is anybody going with her?
Oh, I'm so lonely.
I'll come. I'll come with you. I think I'm probably fairly. We should take Vicky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's supposed to be in the allies section, and I didn't put
Yes,
her in the allies.
and she's also supposed to be getting me some information from her isolationist and prepper mates. About
Yeah, she
what
got-
kind of thing we should be thinking of.
She got you a big long list of the sort of stuff that might be a good idea, a lot of which you've already organised, a lot of which you've
Aye.
already got. There are a few other things that you thought, oh, that's a good idea. You, for example, you are currently lacking any entrenching tools or gardening stuff, or which
Very true.
she highly recommends you get some spades.
I
some
did
holes.
make
Well,
a
you know-
suggestion of that when they were doing when we were thinking about bunkers in the last
Yeah.
in the last chapter
Mhm.
to get things like soil and compost.
So yeah,
Can I just point out that Ram Raiding B&Q is an awful lot less glamorous than breaking into a museum to steal swords, so I think it's going to come quite low on the list, if I'm honest. I think there'll be an awful lot of people running for their lives for scary alien beasties are not going to be going, oh, and while I'm here, I might get some paint samples. Although, who knows? I mean, we've lived through a pandemic and people have behaved like absolute wazzocks.
Yeah. You need a bag of path gravel, don't you?
Yeah.
We'll have a nice wee garden with wee signs out all around the edge of it that say things like "Live, Laugh, Love," you know.
Get the gnomes and the picket fences.
Aye.
Okay, Murray, could you move yourself onto assignment 1 for me, please? Is anybody else going bunker hunting with them, or is that it?
Nah.
Oh,
I wanna rob the museum when we do that.
Yeah, that's going to be another week, though. We're not doing that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bunkers, we'll probably have a look at some of the bunkers tonight. So, what I'm going to do is...
I'm going to suggest before we go that we go through that pile of stuff that we just bought. We get some of the torches.
Yeah.
We get some protective. If we've got protective gear in among it, I've got things like helmets and shin pads and stuff.
Yeah.
That we take with us. We can take it in sports bags because we don't know if any of these are collapsing. We don't know the states of any of them, so we might want to take things to protect ourselves in case ceilings come down on our head or anything.
Take walkie-talkies as well.
Yep, the walkie-talkies would be because mobile phones may not work underground in these.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're lead, if they're insulated with lead, if these are Cold War bunkers. Sometimes mobiles don't work in them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what
we'll
I'm
get
going to have you
some.
do is make a note of the equipment you're going to take with you.
Yeah.
Decide, I'll just hand you over onto the map of the bunkers, and I will also pop up the information that you've acquired so far on the bunkers. So that's bunker hunting, show players. Okay, I'm going to quickly pay a visit to the bathroom. I'm going to leave all the vocals out to the recording so the listeners will hear everything they say. So if you want to sort out which bunkers you might want to investigate first and which equipment you're going to take, I'll see you in, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Right. What do you reckon? The closest one first. Moving out in a radius pattern.
I was thinking the other way around, but I suppose if we're
Okay,
already...
no, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm easy either way.
Yeah.
Number
Right, so-
6.
So,
Which one are you going to go through first then?
Number 6.
number 6.
Oh, we're not doing the map.
Yeah,
We're doing the big map.
Slowly, somebody's just pinged slowly.
slowly.
It's the furthest one away, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Furthest
so.
out. Because there's slowly Matfin Prudder.
Because I just wouldn't fancy going to the more remote ones later on.
Yeah, I think if we do if we do slowly Matfin Prudder,
Yeah,
then the one that's kind of near Stanley, and the one
Yeah.
that's the two either side of Stanley, and then we
Yeah.
work back towards Ponteland and Newcastle.
How far if we did live in a
wanna
bunker,
come
how
back
far
up
would you
to it?
want to live outside of Newcastle?
Uh,
That one. Do them.
Yeah. To be honest,
We're sort of over here somewhere.
yeah, a lot of the preppers recommend going for as isolated in a region as possible, because if it's something like alien predators that are going to be hunting people, they're going to have to hunt you through an awful lot of ground for a very low calorie reward, really. Whereas a lot of people will go into the cities, they won't leave the cities.
yeah.
So effectively, the cities will be like the supermarkets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It'll be an all-they-can-eat buffet all the time for them. So I think probably if we look at the further out ones moving inwards, why have we got all these red scribbles on this now?
So you're out, apparently.
Someone's.
Oh, that looks like a pee-pee.
Really?
Really, Ben?
You subconsciously drew a dick. You couldn't help it.
The white dot is where we are.
Right, you. Right, slowly, then we'll work for there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is really hexel.
And we'll take walkie-talkies, any of the armor stuff we've got, torches, some first aid kits, and food and water just in case.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
maybe some what's his name's chainsaw, and maybe some sticks to hit things with.
Yeah.
Just in
Yeah, I
case.
think probably
Crowbar.
treating this like spelunking, like caving.
Yeah.
Some of them might be collapsed, there might be water, so I think probably rope.
Rope, yes.
Aye.
Okay, so we need to get... I don't think we've
Like a
got any
ladder.
rope, do we?
Oh no, you said rope. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, we'll use rope.
And I've got, obviously, the weapons and stuff. I'll take with Swiss Army knife as well, just in case.
Aye. I think there's going to be a lot of discarded stuff in these places, metal
Extra
bars, that kind of thing, so we can improvise what we have to.
Yeah.
And some first aid. Take a first aid cage.
Yeah, I've already said that one. We'll probably take.
I don't know if you said it, but you may as well take like extra tires. Like
Probably have spare tire on.
Yeah.
On the,
We're
on the
going to
car.
slowly, and civilization hasn't fallen. We have to drive through quite a lot of populated areas, so I think if there's a problem with the tyres, we can find a garage.
Yeah, it'd probably be fine. That's
Aye.
why it's better to do the further out ones first.
One
I think.
first.
Okay, so which one are you going for first?
Slowly.
Slowly. Okay, let me just have a look.
And we were wanting to get some rope before we go, because that's something I don't think we've got.
Okay, yes. I'll allow you to pick up some rope. It's not gonna stress you. Oh, I don't know. You've been spending like it's going out of fashion. What is your resources down to at the moment?
Well, it's still at 6 as far as I'm aware.
Still at 6. Okay, then yes, you can afford some rope. Depends how much you're buying, of course.
It's just enough for
60 miles worth.
It's some of that nylon climbing
Basically,
rope.
we're treating this as if it was minus spelunking caving.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
whatever would be recommended for that, I don't know, 25 meters, 50 meters.
Yeah, about that. About 50 meters, we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just bring up my little thingy here.
Get some wellies just in case some of them are flooded.
Yes.
3 feet or
Yeah. Taking waterproof backpack with stuff, so there's that as well.
Slaley was the first one you go into, which was way out here. Okay. Right, okay. You
Don't like that laugh.
okay, you drive out all the way to Slaley. Let me just have a bit of a look at roughly how far we're talking about. So, because I take it you're doing that tonight after you've eaten, or am I wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong?
I mean,
Go-
I don't mind.
Go during,
really.
go during the daytime. Wait until tomorrow, as it were. Get a good night's sleep.
Well, it's up to those of you who are going. Which are you doing? It's about 20 miles away, so it's going to take you.
Yeah, maybe wait and go early in the morning, I would say.
Going to go early in the morning. Okay. So, are you planning to go before the reconnaissance of the museum, or are you planning to go instead of being involved in that?
I think we were planning on going instead of being involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting the hell out of Dodge before Rab just steals everything that the British Empire already stole.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll start there then, because obviously the museum heist is going to
Do you
take
be
me
able to
a
go
week.
back to the lab as it's still the same day? Just for
Uh,
a second.
Yes, I
Just
can
not,
do.
not
Yes.
to do about research, but other things.
Okay. Yes. Come back to the lab. Just a second. Go ahead.
So I was gonna kind of like when I'm on a break or something, I was speaking to like quietly to Joe to see if he can do some snooping, like to try and see if there's any conversations going on or anything that might be of relevant information from other scientists and other people in here, because I'm sure we've not really had like interaction with many other people
Okay.
to really know what is going on.
Okay. So, Joe, give me a
Yes.
dexterity stealth test for a start.
Did say there might be government spies.
Well, there might be. That's why you're trying to blend in.
Is that a pass?
That's a pass. So if there are government spies, everybody currently thinks it's you. Also, could you give me a perception hearing test, please?
Oh, this might not go well. Does
Okay.
observation only work on seeing? Do you fail a perception test for your chosen foes? Huh?
No, it would work on this as well. Oh, it has to.
Is that a
Sorry,
pass then?
sorry. No, it has to be on your chosen focus, I believe. So it depends what focus you chose when you picked it. It was a pass in the first
Sorry.
place. You rolled 14. That's a pass under these circumstances. There is
Hell yeah.
very little to hear. Most of the conversation is not anything useful. There's a lot of discussion about what happened the other night. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people sharing videos with one another of some of the creatures that are supposedly in other locations around the world. You manage to get a look at some of them. In fact, in some cases, people just quite happily let you just wander up and sit down and look. Some of the you are seeing a lot of different creatures. So the three things you've seen, the man of war, the slime mold, and the giant carnal sperm, there is a lot more out there than just that.
Well, if they're just letting me come up to them, I'll ask them if they can like email me the photos, videos, and any information they have.
Okay,
Take a picture.
yeah, go ahead and make a communications persuasion
It'll just
test.
be communications. I don't.
Okay.
Oh, and still.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Got a 5 stunt as well.
you will get information on 5 separate beasties sent to you.
Hell
so
yeah.
I'm going to pop some of those up for you now. Just give me a second to find them.
Give Joe a gold star when he comes back.
Okay, so let me start with some of the ones I'm finding most interesting. Obviously, you've seen the Fangoat. So there's one. You should be able to see just the
He's got a
bio.
big head.
Yeah. You recognise that as one of the creatures you set its head on fire.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of them in Central Europe. Some of the other creatures you are seeing, let me just see which ones have actually got pictures
Wait,
of. That might
so-
be helpful.
So these are like exclusive to certain areas of the world. right?
Well, no, you've
Yeah.
seen one of them in Newcastle, but there seems to be a lot more of them in Central
okay.
Europe. Yeah. Also, you're seeing these creatures here, which, at a glance, looks like some kind of weird cross between a rhinoceros and a woodlouse, or a centipede, even. Until you recognise what it's walking past, and you realise that from the top of its carapace to its feet is about the same height as a Ford Focus. Yeah, Jenny knows what that is.
Don't want to run into them.
Want to run away from them?
However, possibly
can.
one of the most bizarre you've seen so far are these that seem to be primarily in South and Central Europe at the moment. South and Central America at the moment. So let me just show you this one.
Oh my. It's like a Medusa.
Yeah, kind of similar. Also,
Aye, what's going on there?
and this one. These things I'm about to show you seem to primarily be found around brackish water.
Brackish water, what's that?
Water that's
It's-
brackish.
It's water that's brackish, yes. It's not salt water and it's not fresh water. It's somewhere in between. So you get brackish water around river estuaries. So you get it in some lakes. You get it in swamps and stuff like that.
Right. That's gross.
It's where the fresh water meets the river and the salt water.
Yes.
So is that like a squid crab?
It's kind of like a giant barnacle type thing with these
Wiggly bits.
wiggly bits jutting out the front, these pseudopods jutting out the front. You get the impression that they are about the size of a horse.
Okay.
And the other one you get, which I don't appear to have a picture for, which
You
strikes
got
me
to think
slightly odd.
these things are probably not the apex predators as well. These will be the food of the things.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You do see one of the apex predators. I don't appear to have a picture of it, which surprises me, but I'll describe it. This is supposed to have attacked somewhere in the Pacific, sort of Japan type of area.
Godzilla. It's Godzilla, isn't it? It's Godzilla.
It's about the size of Godzilla. The thing weirded as it, the video online, which a lot of people are saying is photoshopped, shows a massive creature wading out of the sea. If you've ever seen Cloverfield, it looks a lot like the Cloverfield monster. Unless they are litigious, in which case it looks superficially like
Oh, that's horrifying.
So that's what you're getting at the moment. Since we're at the laboratory, let's have another round of study. See if you can find anything useful.
But you saying that's all I get? That's enough nightmares for my life.
or
Something like kaiju or something.
it's gonna. Yeah, those ones are being described as kaiju. It's gonna get much worse. Trust me on this. I think I might have figured out why that was misfiring earlier. Okay, Chris, which one was your particular project?
It was the
Man of War.
effect in Man of War.
Okay, give me a roll, please.
I would like to put points to that using my knowledge. Is it
Go
knowledge?
ahead. Okay.
You have study added a successful intelligence to no. It was not that expertise. Sorry, here.
Expertise,
So
that's the one, yeah.
that adds a 1.
Okay.
And then I'll use improvisation as well to add the extra 1.
Okay, so you realise that the lab is lacking just one piece of equipment that you could have done with. You don't know why it would normally be here, but you managed to jury rig something with some other methodologies instead and press on a little bit with the study. You get the impression that Joe's maybe not the only person around here who's acquiring one or two bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you get on your stunt dice? Just the 1. So that takes that up to 17. Nope, sorry. It's the wrong pool.
He said we might get something at 20. You should just stay a couple hours. Just stay the night.
I've still got a couple of the rolls to do, possibly, because we have been here a couple more hours.
I just need to double check what the... who were you having working with you on that one as well as the other question?
I'm just bringing it up. Research. There it is. That was James Callahan.
James Callahan, of course, yes.
You know, I googled that name, and there's the only person with a PhD is for engineering.
Yeah, you are aware we're not basing these all on
I know.
real people, all right?
I'm that kind of person who searches things like that.
Okay. That's a term for people like you, I'm sure of it. Okay, so that was why that wasn't working before. That's 15. So that, that's a passing with 5 added to the pool. That puts you up to 11. So you're going to learn a little bit something more about the.
They actually got 5 stunt as well.
They
didn't
did, yeah, they did. So between you managed to press on for another. I think these are 2-hour increments. Yes, they are. 6 we're on now, and you will learn the next. Oh, where the fuck is it? This is why we have a master handout. Let me just roll down the master handout and find it. So, chapter 3. There we go. Man of War sample. That doesn't seem to have come up anywhere. Ah, there it is. Just couldn't see it for looking at it. So, in addition to what you already knew about the Man of War, you're going to learn the following. I'll just read it first and then I'll put it in your notes.
Okay.
The presence of what appears to be buoyancy sacs in the creature's main body suggests that it may be either aquatic or amphibious. The creature seems to lack both lungs and gills. Instead, its respiratory system appears to be slightly more akin to those of terrestrial insects. It has a series of spirituals of spinnacles along its anterior dorsal lateral body. That's front upper sides for you. These spiracles then lead to unfamiliar valved organs and chambers that seem to be capable of performing gas exchange functions of both lungs and gills, but the mechanism is not entirely clear.
Okay.
So I'll just add that to the part of the notes that you can actually see. You definitely reckon there's still more. Oh, fuck's sake, it's all going a bit haywire here. Just a second. I'll fix one problem at a time. I'll get that copied in there. Save that. Show that to you. And close that, and then I'll try and get rid of what the hell has happened here?
I keep seeing hints that we need to capture one of these alive and study it.
It might be useful to be able to get a live. I don't know how to close that. Hold on, I'm just going to pop out and back in. It might, excuse me, be useful to capture one of these alive. Well, that didn't help much. I've done a thing and I don't know how to undo the thing I've done.
While the scientist goes to get the rest of the information, I would like to ask Joe if he wants to tell me what he really does.
I'll just tell you that. I'll just tell you what I do.
Okay.
I work at a law firm.
I would say the truth. Someone who works at a law firm doesn't sneak about like that.
Clearly, you're someone who's never worked at a law firm.
It's no wrong, you know.
Yeah.
There's nobody worse than lawyers.
True. Okay,
Fine.
that's me logged back into the game to fix the problem that I couldn't fix. Sorted. Okay. So, yes, that's what that team learned. Now, if you want the other teams to continue... Oh, actually, wait a minute. You can make another roll on that one. That'll take you up to 8 hours, and that'll be your lot
Come
for
on,
the
6
day.
stun points. 6 stun points.
Oh well.
Ooh.
Still a good roll.
Good roll.
It is a good
yeah.
roll, and with 3 stunt points, that takes you up to 14, and your next target was 15, isn't that? Isn't that a bummer?
Oh.
Oh.
I'm not able to use my expertise again, am I?
Take a look at it, see if it says anything about adding stunt points.
Sorry, I had to reload the game.
Yeah, I had to do the same, don't worry about it.
Is there not somebody else working with them?
Yes, sorry, yes there is, so you're going to go over that if this guy passes. My mistake, I forgot all about him again. So yeah, it
James
looks
Callahan.
like it is James Callahan, so I just need to open my
Come on, Callahan. This is all riding on you.
chapter 3, sample analysis. It's James Callahan.
It says here you can choose expertise only once for each particular focus. So yeah, it could be,
Okay. Oh, for the love of
but
God.
might not need it.
I'm getting the page not found on that again. I think if I roll this version.
404.
Everyone keeps flashing up with the exclamation mark and the triangle now.
Okay, so 18, he's just added 5 to the thing for you, so that gets you all the way up to 19. So you're both getting a bit tired. You're at the point now where you're like, oh, I could really do with jacking in for the day. Sorry, this is playing funny buggers now. It's just, there we go. That's how.
You know worries.
So give me a second, and I'll open the Man of War, and you've got
8 hours of constant research.
Yeah, you're too tired to do any more today. That's going to be the end for you. So just after you learn this bit, which I'm going to put in your public section now, but I will also read it out so everybody gets to hear it. Just give me a second till it's in there. Okay, so the creatures seem ill-adapted for the cold. They lack hair and any significant body fat, which suggests that they're adapted for a much warmer climate, probably more akin to the Mediterranean or the South Pacific than the North Sea. It seems likely that they become less efficient in various ways in the cold, and they're likely to find survival difficult, if even possible at all, at temperatures beneath 5 degrees centigrade over a prolonged period. If this hypothesis is true, then a British winter is liable to be fatal to the animals.
That's good.
Mm.
God, even the summer sometimes will be fatal to them.
Yeah.
Also, being in the desert might kill them overnight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if they become disoriented the more cold it gets before dying.
Probably.
That might make it easier to catch.
It also occurs to you, though, after, we'll assume one of the other scientists mentioned what Sean's just mentioned, so that I can feed you this bit of idea. But judging by the shape of the things, it would be extremely good at burrowing into sand. So the chances are in the desert they would probably survive the cold nights by just getting underneath and
Or in the desert.
Indeed, so like a lot of desert creatures do actually to survive the cold nights, but
and
you
the heat.
and the heat for that matter, yeah. So you're pretty sure these things are unlikely, to survive a British winter, which is good news. And you're thinking, well, we also know that the Grecs didn't seem to do well in the cold. Perhaps it's all going to be all right, and come winter, all these alien monstrosities are all going to be destroyed. And then Joe comes back in with a phone full of photographs of all these other monsters that are appearing around the world.
Okay.
And
With their
suddenly,
locations.
with their locations, yeah, some of which are appearing in fairly cold areas to begin with.
South America,
South-
It's not
Asia.
cold.
South America's not
Europe.
cold, but parts of Europe, I did say Central Europe, some of them are
But
appearing.
it's the summertime though in Central Europe.
I was picturing myself doing one of those cinematic moments where like the music goes all ominous and I'm just going in. It's like this happened earlier today in Asia, and then it's like horrible screams. This happened in Europe, and then Chris goes, "This is the end," and then like the subtitles run.
I'll make a pin board on the tablet, but also do a small one on paper as well, just in case of
Okay.
the future.
Yeah, okay, go for it. Okay, so you guys come back to base tired and weary from your long day at the laboratory.
Obviously, getting pizza on the way back.
Getting pizza on the way back. Although you've been doing most of the research, Joe, you're also exhausted because he's had you on your feet all day just patrolling up and down corridors. You get back to notice that both Erin and Lizzy are missing. Dun, dun, dun.
That's concerning.
Have they gone? Thought they weren't going. Till
Oh no,
tomorrow.
they're going tomorrow morning, aren't
Yeah.
Which makes it even more worrying that they disappeared.
they? Yeah,
Well, they may have disappeared over to the flat.
they've just disappeared over to the flat, yes. And then they come back. you spend another night in, some of you in the flat, some of you in the workshop. The ones in the workshop wake up with sort of sore, aching backs. The ones in the flat wake up having had a much quieter, more restful night.
Yeah, we've got sleeping bags and we've got cars.
True, you can sleep in the cars, yeah.
Reclining seats, you know.
Yeah.
Angle yourself up against the exhaust so you get all that warm air below.
You're not running the engines in here. Are you stupid?
I'm assuming he was joking.
Yes.
Well, to both questions, yeah.
Okay, so next day, right, yes, next day, what's everybody doing? Somebody, do you know we only have 3 assignment things, and I've got a nasty feeling we now have 4 assignments.
Right, let's put the board back up because we're looking at a map.
Oh, of course you are. I'm looking at the board. You're looking at the map.
What? well.
There you go.
We need to change this to.
Yeah, if you
other
I'm
things.
gonna.
if we move researching the local area over list of to-dos, and if you put case museum in one of the assignments.
If I knew how to spell museum, I would.
MUSEUM.
Thank you.
Okay, don't forget to go back to lab in the to-do list because somebody's going to have to finish all that work at some point. There's still a lot to learn. However, I am going to start with I'm going to start with Marie and Jenny. You guys are driving out to Slaley. You're heading off before the guys who are going to be casing the museum start, really, because you wanted to get an early start and the museum doesn't open till a bit later anyway. So you drive out to Slaley and drive around looking for the ROC post there. Can you give me a perception seeing test to see if you can find it, please?
Okay, hold on.
Not such a great roll from me.
Perception seeing 12 you got, okay. And
Ooh.
Lizzie can't find anything. It's just like farmland and
What about a sister?
small village. Yeah, did you take your sister?
Yeah, we were going to take Vicky with us.
I really must put her character thingy in there.
It's in the thing.
So panning down, we've got
Yeah, I need to put sister, my dad and brother, and Adam's girlfriend. Well,
Good Rob movies writing down the
Oh,
list.
well, Vicky rolled a 16 with 4 stunt points.
right. So as you're driving past it, you're sort of going past a church when Vicky like leans back and goes, "I think that was it behind the church." There's like a little hill in a paddock with there's 2 big metal things coming out the ground. That's got to be it.
Well, let's park up and go look then.
Okay. You park up around this area somewhere, just kind of slightly out of the way as best you can, and find a footpath that leads up to what is indeed a small fenced, paddock's probably the wrong word, it's a small fenced field. In one corner of the field, near the fence, you can actually see a mound which must come up maybe 2-3 feet, and jutting out of the mound are 2 collections of dark green military drab painted metal boxes. From here you would say the boxes themselves are a couple of feet high as well, and it looks like they are padlocked.
right.
You know that set of bolt cutters that you borrowed from the garage?
Bah,
There's sheep in the field, are there?
bah. Yes, there are.
Oh God.
Bah,
This is no goats.
bah.
Eh,
They're now all looking at you. Bah.
I
Sheep are
don't
not
like
real.
how
you know.
them sheep are looking at us.
I'm gonna start getting paranoid. It's actually an alien sheep.
Nearly a sheep.
And
We're
what's the
alright, we're
right
alright. See if the aliens attack. We don't have to run faster than the aliens. We just have to run faster than the sheep.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's see. Is it a padlock that opens with a key? Or is it a padlock that opens with numbers?
It's a padlock that opens with a key from what you can see from here. You're on the
Okay.
other side of the fence, but the actual bunker is directly opposite the fence. I say fence, it's a very old run-down wooden fence. It's actually part of it's broken down, you could just step over.
Can we have a look about and see if there's any police CCTV or anything about?
There's definitely no CCTV about. There's a farm in the distance. At this time of day, you're actually up on the hill, so it's possible it could be spotted if you're not careful.
Was any tire tracks or anything around recently?
No, there's no tyre tracks and there's no access road, just the footpath which goes past the bottom of the field.
Okay, let's hop the fence and go over and see if we can get this padlock open.
Okay. Give me a contested dexterity stealth roll. I'm going to whisper the roll back to myself for the person or persons or creatures unknown who may or may not be able to spot you.
Contested what
Jesus.
roll?
Dexterity stealth. Hang on, has anybody got a diary handy? Could they make a note that on this day in history, Jenny actually did a stealth roll with a decent result?
I know, I did.
Because like
5 stamp points.
yeah, multiple years of gaming with multiple different rule systems. I think that's the first time I've ever seen her get a decent stealth roll.
Nearly 22 years.
Yeah,
I feel we need some kind of heroic music or something now.
No.
we do, don't we?
And she's not even a stealthy character. I've made like rogues and sneaky characters, and they've
Yeah.
still been shit.
Okay, so the pair of you sneak up to these boxes. On closer inspection, what they appear to be, one is very definitely an air intake.
Okay.
The other one appears to be the entrance as far as you can tell, but it's padlocked shut. The paint is flaking, but otherwise it's pretty good nick.
Okay. Well, I'll make note of that. I don't know whether we've got anything that we could use to try and break in.
You said you brought a crowbar, didn't you?
I mean,
We'd have a crowbar in the car.
yeah.
And then there's Vicky with an axe.
Vicky just have an axe. It's pretty good.
That's true. I mean, I brought some weapons as well. All right, well.
Do you know those Swiss Army knives?
Yes.
We could try picking the lock with one of them.
Yes. Good idea.
Actually, they're very good for picking locks with. So I'm told.
Right, well, I brought a couple with us. Hang on, how many did I actually get? I got 3 Swiss Army knives, so I would have probably given one to each of us.
Okay, yeah.
So we can all give it a go, I guess.
Now I think I'm right in saying that this should be black for everybody.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, black.
Excellent. Who's climbing down first?
Oh, God.
What do you mean climbing down?
Oh, you haven't broken
Just
it
in
open
the
yet. Sorry. You described you were going to do it, and I was like, so that's worked, and we haven't actually tested it. You might not
I
get in.
mean...
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably go down first. I think I'm the most athletic, but this is what the rope's for. Somebody can tie the rope round my waist.
Okay, well, first things first, you need to get through that lock. So, which of your various imperfect ideas was going to be the one you tried?
I'm guessing it's
That sounded more bitchy than I meant it to be.
Lock picking with
Lock
one of
picking
the
with one of the Swiss Army knives. We were actually talking about that one. It's been a long day. What can I say? I'm getting old. It's a long day. I'm in pain.
Oh.
So, who's going to try the lock picking?
Well, I did.
So-
I
Erin.
rolled
Erin did it.
14.
Erin.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know, like-
there's a dexterity roll. Was that a lockpick attempt? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be dexterity.
Okay, yes, it will be. Dexterity sabotage is the actual.
Yeah, I don't
don't have
that.
sa-
Oh,
this
we
is-
should have brought Rab.
You
shouldn't
should have
we?
brought Rabbi.
Damn
You
it. Well, he's
absolutely
too busy
should.
robbing a museum, so...
He's only planning the robbery.
Well...
They're not robbing
This is
it.
much. This all we're going to do is look at some Cold War bunkers. This is much less glamorous than stealing
Yeah.
stores for a museum.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, let me just have a look at the bunkers. So it will be equivalent to any of those. Target number was 11. You've done it. So you jam the Swiss Army knife. I'm going to describe this, and then you're going to ask me how I know that this is how it's done. But don't give that too much thought. You jam the Swiss Army knife's tin opener into the lock and twist suddenly, and remarkably, surprisingly, the lock just opens.
I was quite specific. How do you know all that?
Because that's how I used to do it.
That was easier
You used
than
to
I thought it
break
was
into
gonna
Cold
be.
War bunkers.
No, not break into cold. How I used to pick locks with the Swiss Army knife. I used to
You know, when you're locked out.
when you're locked out, or when you're practicing on picking locks, or when you want to pick the lock on Farby's room that you went to college with, so you can hide something in his room he won't notice till 3 days later when it's gone off. That sort of thing. Just in theory.
Okay.
just in theory. Obviously, that's not. I would never do that at all if you're listening, Farby. Honestly. And
And
to
then,
be frank, I got more of a fright than him anyway, because I found the moose with a knob print in the under his
What?
bed. Yeah, never mind.
I've heard that story.
I'm surprised there's anybody left I know hasn't heard that
Oh
story.
no, hang on. I do. Yeah.
Right, okay, so who was going down first? Lizzie was going down first.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but
remember
we're
that
gonna-
email address to complain to is
We probably aren't going to read this anyway at gmail.com.
At mail.com, not
.com.
gmail.com. But I do actually own that website, yeah. That email address, rather, yes. Okay, that's odd. I've just ported your token over and
you didn't give anybody vision.
it didn't. It's not the token it's supposed to be at all. So I'm going to try that
Da,
again.
da, da.
Yeah, it's broken the link for some reason.
This is not the droid you're looking for.
So it would seem.
Okay, so I'll give everybody vision through your character anyway, so they can all see the crack. Also, you're bringing a flashlight, aren't you?
At
Yeah,
least
we
one
all
each.
brought them.
So emits low light over a 5-meter range, and directional light on. Total 90 degrees. 90 degrees there as well. Bosh. Now I'm gonna. Can you see that now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so Lizzy, you open the lock and peer inside. What you see is a long, dark passageway that just descends down. Actually, not as deep as you imagined. It's maybe 10 meters. If that. In fact, it's probably not 10 meters. It's probably half that. There is a ladder which is old and metal. And at the bottom there are two doors, one to the north and one to the east.
Okay.
Oh.
So, how are you climbing down exactly?
Well, we're going to put the rope round my waist. If that's a ladder on the side, I'm going to aim for that.
Okay.
If it's not, how wide is the shaft, did you say?
The shaft's not that wide, it's only a metre wide.
So I could do the thing where you put your back against one thing and walk down with your legs.
You could easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
That's
this,
style.
especially this being you. As a
This conversation come from a married couple who's weird.
Prince of Persia.
So you tie the rope around your body and climb down the ladder. There's a metallic creaking noise with every step. You half expect the thing to give way under you as you move down and down and down, and then you're at the bottom. Looking up, you realise this is actually only about 5 meters in height, if that.
Going to use the walkie-talkie and say to them, the ladder feels a bit unsafe, but it's only about 5 feet deep.
Meters.
5 meters deep.
Right.
Rather.
Okay.
It's about
That's
15
about
feet.
15, 16 feet.
Yeah, that's right.
So see if one of you could brace the rope while the second one comes down, and then the third ties off the rope somewhere, probably I would recommend to the handle of the door and then close them.
There's a couple of trees nearby
Yeah.
you could use.
And then uses the rope, comes down the ladder but uses the rope as a...
Okay. If anybody else is coming down, you're going to have to move though, because the corridor, the
I'm going to move into the
shaft
corridor,
is
yeah.
only a meter square.
Well, maybe Sister can go down next. I'll go last, and I'll tie the rope off.
Okay. So Marie, let's find out if the APIs really have broken. Can you see, if you click on your token, can you see unlock door as an option?
Yes, I can see open door.
Okay, click it.
You do not have permission to run commands.
Not again.
Oh God, not again. Right, okay, I'll have to do it for you.
Thank you.
One day it will work.
One day it'll work. Well, it's only opened one of the two doors, so that's a bad start. Fuck's sake, and now it's closed it again instead of opening the other one. Which one would you like to look through, the north or the east?
See that one you just opened? That one's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So I'll step into here.
Okay, and I'll open the other one manually while you're doing that. So go ahead and move. Okay. And I'll just go on to the dynamic lighting and delete. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Sight down.
Yeah.
what you've what you've done is you've stepped into what appears to be a tiny little bunker. There is a desk here which is really, really old. There's still some notes on it though. There's still some old handwritten notes on crumbling paper. Over here you've got a set of shelves, and behind you you've got another set of shelves. On this set of shelves there are 4 sets of Wellington boots and a whistle. On
Bloody hell.
this set of shelves there's some kind of battery, you think. The bed you're standing next to is actually a bunk bed, so it's 2 layers, up, one down.
And I take it this looks like it's not been lived in years.
It hasn't been lived in since the 60s by the look of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not touching them welly boots because rubber perishes.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's true.
And the battery, if it's been there that long, it'll be probably worse than useless. Touching it will likely result in corrosive acid getting on me.
Mm.
So, we'll move Vicky in here.
Oh, that's interesting. So her thing didn't break when we pulled her over, but yours did. Interesting.
What's this thing in the corner by the bed?
Air vent. And I'm just going to move you down there as well.
Would everyone at this point have a picture of everything that of Joe got?
Yeah, I can email it to you.
Yeah.
So, from what we can make out, there's a bunk room.
Yeah.
And then there's a loo.
Yes.
So if you move it northwards from where they're up the ladder, there's a toilet in there. Is that what's in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't actually see for some reason.
Okay, so it hasn't broken yours exactly, but it hasn't fully set it up either. Let me just try and get this to fucking open.
Yeah, it's like I can only see part of that.
Okay.
Of
That's,
the bathroom.
that's obviously not
There
much
we are,
cot
yeah.
then. If there's only a bedroom and a toilet,
Yeah.
bedroom and a bathroom.
Yeah,
Yep.
it looks like there's
Yeah.
only enough room. I mean, with the 3 people in here, it's a bit cramped already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very,
Okay.
very disappointing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn. Right.
You feel that your initial plan might be somewhat crimped by that.
I'll say to Vicky, well, if all else fails, it's actually only about the size of your flat. Fuck's sake.
Right, well,
Well,
maybe
we've looked, so it's no good,
time for the
so
next.
back up and we'll what we'll do is we'll put the padlock back in, so even if it won't relock, it looks like it's locked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. You can try and pick it locked again if you want to. So
Yeah.
you all creep back out of the bunker, and
This is the point where the ladder collapses and you're all trapped at the bottom of the thing, and the door slams shut and locks.
you see, you'd need an
See,
evil
the
games
problem with
master to
that,
do.
Sean,
Sorry.
is the problem with that, Sean, is the shaft is only 1 meter, and my character does parkour.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's not like you couldn't just climb out of there.
Yes, I can climb out, and
And
we secured
especially
the
you've got a
rope,
rope.
so we secured
Yeah.
the rope so we could climb out up the rope.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all make it back out of the disappointingly tiny bunker. This fucking clock tokens. Sorry, I do apologise to the listeners, but that the message that's blocked you from operating the doors. The doors, by the way, are operated
Oh.
by a script called Door Knocker. The API that stopped you from doing it is clock tokens, which is an entirely different API and shouldn't have anything to do with it. And I switched off the ability for clock tokens to stop you doing shit earlier in the week. Well, last week actually. I think I'm just going to deinstall clock tokens. See if that fixes
Yeah,
it.
I think what you're looking at is a clash of two kinds of
two APIs
small
that
sections
yeah.
of code, and when they clash, they just decide not to work.
Yes.
It's probably the same line of coding or a very similar line of coding that's the same in both, and
It will
just
be, yeah.
confuses the hell out.
It'll be
It's-
something
and
like
it's
that.
probably ASC2 coding.
Yes, thanks for that.
It's that old. Jesus.
Yep.
It's liable,
Yep.
right? Okay, so
Yeah.
no, continue.
No, it's fine.
Well, we're on at least 6 now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be keeping watch for killer sheep when we get there.
Ah.
We're all gonna be eyeing the sheep up.
This is not Australia. It's not that film. Black Sheep.
It
That was crazy funny. That.
really
Yeah.
was. Yeah. Okay, so what would you guys like to do next?
Well, we're
We're
going to try
gonna-
and pick that lock closed again.
Okay, go ahead. Give me another dexterity sabotage roll to clear. You've done it. You've
Jesus, okay.
picked it shut so cautiously that nobody would know it's been tampered with unless they looked exceptionally closely.
Right, okay.
You untie the rope, take it with you, and creep off back down the pathway till you can't drive away. Nobody will ever know you were here.
Next bunker then, huh?
Next bunker,
Yeah.
which is the next? Do you need me to bring the bunker map up again?
Yes. You
Right.
gonna go for Matfen? Was that the
Matt
next?
Finn was the next one, then Prudder.
Muffin
Why do I
and-
feel like the shipping? I feel kind of like the shipping forecast here because I was going. So it'll be Slaley, Matfin, Prudder, and it kind of feels, has that.
Like the shipping zones
Yeah.
or the fishing areas.
Yeah,
You could probably stop at Hex or something and refuel and snack.
well, but Corbridge is closer,
Yeah.
and it's right
Okay.
on the way.
Or Cobbage.
So you spend the day driving around some of these ROTC bunkers. You hit Matfin next. You find the same thing. It's a 3-person bunker. It's 2 rooms. It's a bunk bed, a desk, 2 sets of shelves, and a toilet. Prudder turns out not even to be there anymore. It's one of the ones that's gone completely, and you're starting to get, just a little bit disheartened at this point. Do you want to try another one? If so,
Yeah,
which one?
We were going to try the one to. Yes, that one. The one
Yeah.
that's been found.
Ukiah one.
That one will be, I think, Sacristan. Tantobi, right? Okay.
Tantobi.
Um,
Tantobi's got a disused ROTC bunker.
Apparently it
Yeah.
has, yes. Yeah. I didn't, and I've gone through Tantobi many a time. Okay, you arrive at Tantobi ROTC bunker. It takes you a little while to find it, but when you do, your heart immediately sinks because on the surface it looks exactly the same as the other bunkers that you've already seen. The primary difference between this one is it is in the corner of a field full of horses. Oddly enough, as you approach, and I swear to God, I'm taking this from the Subterranean Britain website. This happened to them when they visited. As you approach, the horses in the place all run over to the bunker and surround it.
You're not
Okay.
getting in our bunker.
Oh.
It's our bunker.
I'm going to go back to the car.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some fruit or some veg or some sweeties because we said we were bringing food.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to go up and I'm going to try and tempt the horses away with it.
Okay. Make a communication animal handling roll, please.
Because obviously, because I read my flame flicker when I was young, so I know.
Yeah.
I've only got straight communication, I'm afraid. So give it a
Just
try.
give it a try. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Stampeded.
No. Yeah.
Although they're ignoring me.
The horses are just ignoring you. Yeah. They're barricading the ROTC bunker and just won't approach. Make a listening roll, all of you, please.
Okay.
Okay, 18.
That intelligence, yeah.
No, sorry, perception.
Perception.
Okay, so you both hear somebody approaching along the muddy path. You turn round a bit worried and then realise, actually, so far you've just stood on one side of a a fence looking at the bunker. I haven't done anything. They see an older bloke come along. He's in like a tweed cap. He's got a
Green wellies.
he's got green wellies on. He's got a donkey jacket. He sees you two having a look at the bunker, and he says, "All right there,
Hello.
having a look at the ROTC bunker, are you? ROC bunker.
Yeah.
Interested in that sort of thing, are you, lasses?
Yes. Yes. Really. We've got a wee like a map of them all.
All
and
right,
we're
aye.
trying to visit all of them in the area.
Oh, it's quite a lot of.
Spotters, but for ROC bunkers, you know.
Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of interesting. That, buddy lass. Aye. Let's have a look at your map, if you don't mind. Which ones have you been to so far?
Slaley, Matfin, Prudder.
Slaley, Matfin, and Prudder. Yep. Did you manage to get into any of them?
Maybe.
It's all right,
Why
Mara.
would you be asking that question?
It's all right, Mara. I'm not going to tell. They're interesting when you can get in. So Slaley, Matfin, Prudder. I'm just going to cross out the ones you visited. And
Prudder
your-
wasn't there, and Matfin and Slaley are quite small.
To be honest, most of the ROC bunkers are quite small. They're only designed for 3 people to man, you see. Now,
Yeah.
if you've been in one, you'll notice there's only 2 beds.
Yep.
What they used to do, they used to what they call hotbedding in the military. So one of the beds would be shared by 2 men, but one would be in it while the other one was up working, and then they'd swap. You see? It's not the most cleanly way of doing things, but there's very limited space in there, like you probably noticed.
Yeah.
But really, what the ROC bunkers were for was, ROC, you probably know this if you're interested in bunkers, obviously, is the Royal Observer Corps, and then the volunteers used to go in there and watch for. They were part of the air defences, so particularly interested in, during the Cold War, like when the Russians were going to nuke us.
Aye.
Well, it was their job to get in them bunkers and try not to get dead when the nukes started to fall, like. And they had all this equipment, and they would. The idea was, I mean, obviously it never happened, but the idea was that they would monitor the damage that the nukes did and tell people when it was safe to come out of wherever it was they were hiding. So the plan was they had to stay down there for about 3 months. Now, can you imagine?
My eyes are going to start glazing.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine trying to stay in one of them little bunkers of 3 people in there for 3 months? You'd be sick of the sight
We
of one
lasted
another.
about 10 minutes, so I don't think I could do that.
No, exactly. Now, if you're interested in bunkers, what you really want is to find one of the R1s. They're much bigger. There's a couple of them in the area. Oh, I tell you what, mind, if you ever get a chance, visit an R6. They are brilliant. They're really, really interesting. Are you on that internet?
I am.
Aye, well, there's a YouTube channel you can go on where they show people looking round the big bunker. Now, most of these were doing Soothlick, but there's some canny big R1 and R3 bunkers, and right the way up to R12s. Now, you might think the R12 would be bigger than the R1, but you'd be wrong. The R1s are... Well, the R12 is bigger than the R1, but you'd be wrong to think that it just ran on scale, because the R6 is bigger than the R12. The R6 is massive. 200 people used to work in one of them. Can you imagine that? A bunker, you could get 200 people walking in.
I don't suppose you know where these bigger bunkers are, do you?
I do,
Yeah.
aye. Oh, the ones around here.
Oh, well, near here, or relatively.
You know, because obviously, you know, I'm just down here on holiday, and we thought we this is my hobby, is looking at all this Cold War stuff.
Right.
And
All right.
so, you know, if there's one of the bigger ones round here, I wouldn't mind having a look at it.
Well,
You know, like-
there is an R1. There is an R1 up near Cramlington way. Now, it's one most people don't know about, because it was actually a World War II it was built, but it was retasked
Okay.
during the Cold War. So if you're interested in all that Cold War stuff, it'll be a canny interesting place to look at, because although it was built in World War II, it was retasked for use during the Cold War. So that's where you want to go.
Did you just ping somewhere on the map there?
I didn't. Somebody did it, wasn't me.
Is it that one?
It's
Bedlington?
not. It's not actually the Bedlington. I think is an RO. Sorry, let me just check on my version of the map that's interactive. Bedlington is up, fucking here somewhere. Okay, Bedlington itself is a ROC observation post again, but it's canny near there. Mind having said that, at Bedlington there is an A1 as well if you want to check out an A1 post.
Okay.
Now the A1s were all on the surface, like, because the A series were really designed for like conventional aircraft, and the A1s, and it was either the A1s or the A2s, I just forget which, was designed for spotting and firing on aircraft, so there'd be a gunnery position there as well. That might be interesting for you. But if it's really the Cold War stuff you want, they're not far from Bedlington, in a place that I'll mark it on the map. Give it here. I'll mark it on the map for you.
Aye. We'll give them the print out of the map.
So it's oh, doesn't want to draw that for me. Just a second. It could be because I'm not on draw. That would probably be why. Is it Alt to turn that or Control to turn that? Oh no, it doesn't want to. Right, okay. He's drawn it as a square because I can't seem to draw circles all of a sudden. I forgot now.
Okay.
But there you are.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
It's a roundabout there somewhere now. It's been a long time since I was there. I was there when I was about 20 or younger. So.
Oh, were you in the
I was in the Royal Air Force.
The Force,
I was, and we were based out there. But, they decommissioned it, like, but they were talking about because they still kind of owned the land. They were talking about doing something with it, and they had us in and doing. Anyway, take a look at it if you can get in. As far as I know, the MOD still technically owns the land, but it doesn't deal out with it anymore. So there's no base none out. There's not going to be much security. They'll have just locked the place and left it. Now, they might have bulldozed the entrances in the intervening years, but I don't think they will have done, to be honest. Like, by the 1990s, a lot of these bases had just locked them and left.
Aye.
Nice.
We found a lot of them.
Aye.
Right.
Now, there's 1 hour by Sacriston Way, just a little ROC bunker, but there's a guy there. He gets really. I know you said you were wanting to visit them all, but there's a guy out Sacriston Way. He's been in the papers a couple of times, like, and he's been in bother about it because he'll chase people away from it because it got vandalised a few years back, like kids burned it out.
Well, maybe we shouldn't go at that one then.
Anyway, it's been nice talking to you, but I'm going to go in and have some scran. Aye, no bother. Take care. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you.
See you later, Hinny.
Bye.
And off he walks.
I'm going to phone them and say that we've got a handle on one, but we're going to have to drive up to Cramlington, so
Right.
Don't wait about for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phone Adam or Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Okay. So meanwhile, the rest of you guys, let's just take a look at who's heading over to case out the Case Museum. Looks like Joe's coming with you. Ben, is there anything particular you want to do? Revolving, not at the museum, but revolving around the museum job. I don't want to be too leading, but
I was genuinely serious about just skulking off by myself, and I'm pretty confident in my sneak ability. So I was kind of confident about just sneaking off and then evaluating security.
That's probably a better idea, is to test the security. Meanwhile, we'll gather intel.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't have to come in with you guys, so if I somehow got caught, which I'm not going to, obviously,
Not
if I
right.
did, you guys wouldn't get in trouble.
Well, we'll go in as individuals.
Yes,
Yeah.
all go in separately, so there's no obvious link. Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's good. Okay, so you head off to the museum and start looking around, planning your. Let's just call it a museum job for now, shall we? You go in, you pay a few pounds to. Well, you don't actually. It's free.
It's free.
It is free. You pick up one of the leaflets. It's got the lie of the land, essentially. It's got the floor plan, but it's not a complete floor plan. It's literally just the floor plan of the public parts of the building. And
I
you
think they had
start.
an armoured car when I went in there last time.
Yes, they did when I was there. They've got an armoured car upstairs in. Actually, that might be the DLI museum I'm thinking of, which isn't there anymore, and was in Durham. But yes, anyway, so we're going to call it a night there. And next week we'll pick up from, well, player's choice. We can either do the museum heist or the.
I was going to say I was going to meet up with the bunker hunting angels.
Right, yeah.
On the way to going to Gramlington.
Okay, I'll just move you to. You've done it yourself. Brilliant, right, okay. You're going to meet up with them. So next week, we'll be back at the same time, and we will either do the investigation of the second bunker or the museum job, and whoever's in the other group will be playing NPCs for that week. Or if I have time to do the adventures for both, then I'll run them both and we'll jump back and forwards. But I suspect, given that I've only got a week,
well, maybe do the museum heist one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think that'll be fun.
Because we've already done a bit with bunkers, so.
Yeah.
What I hope we can do is wait until my shipment comes, because I'm just imagining, like full secret agent. And with the goggles, I won't even have to use a torch. I'll just be able to sit in the shadows.
Well, you're not likely to do the reconnaissance with those, but when you actually come to doing the job, that would be a pleasure.
Sir, why are you wearing night vision goggles to walk around our museum?
No,
be so bright.
no reason.
Just walks into the museum with, like, I don't know, a duffel bag, ghillie suit.
Yeah.
What the hell is this guy doing?
Okay.
Looking for laser beams.
Yes, indeed.
Or with the spray as well, just spraying around as I'm walking.
Okay, well, thank you very much for tuning into the game today. I hope those of you who are watching it have enjoyed what we've done so far today. Next week, we'll be picking up from there as the party begin their investigations of both the museum that they intend to liberate some weaponry from, and indeed the bunker that they hope to essentially steal, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. Okay, I am told that they prefer to use the term occupy. Okay, so we will see you all next week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Take care, do stay safe, and good evening.